Welcome back to the Football Terrace. I'm not sure if the intro played then. It was meant to, but I didn't see anything. But it doesn't matter. We've got a brilliant panel for you tonight on the show. We've got Kate. We've got Man Like Gav. Henry Wright is here. And then we've got two blasts from the past. We've got the lovely, the beautiful, the sumptuous Roy, who supports Chelsea, and my old mate, my old mate, Colleen, bruv. How you doing? You well?
Brilliant, mate. Don't know if I appreciate being called your old mate. Thank you. I'd like to keep a little bit of my youth there, Tel. But
no, it's
yeah,
good having you back, though. I know it's great. Long time no see to both of you. It's great to have you on. I think CB is going to be joining us a little bit later on in the show, as well as we look back at the weekend's football. We look at some of the transfer stories that are circulating. We're going to have an in-depth talk about Chelsea after Enzo Maresca's first interview, talking about backing Chelsea to win, etc., etc., etc. All that and much more to come on the Football Terrace this afternoon. But where to start? I want to start with a little bit of England, really, because we did well to get to the semi-finals. Most people didn't think we would. It was a difficult game at times. What did you make of it, Kate?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the most interesting game I've ever seen. There was a slight improvement, I think, from what we've been witnessing. But we did what we had to do. At the end of the day, at this stage of the competition, it don't really matter as long as you win. And we did. So I can't really say too much negative. I thought Saka was outstanding. Gave us the performance we've been waiting to see. So, yeah, I mean, just Pickford stood up to save one of the penalties, so earned his money. But, yeah, I thought it was, like I say, not the best performance, but we got the result. Gone way further than I thought we would. And, yeah, on to the next one. 2 more to go, hopefully.
Yes, fingers crossed. Two more to go. Henry, I know we've spoke a lot about England in the build-up to this. The football still hasn't been scintillating, but it did feel there was a little bit more control for large parts of the game. Eventually, the substitutions were made. And Bukayo Saka, I know what might hurt for you to say it as a Spurs fan, but he really steps up in a massive, massive knockout game for England.
No, I'm happy saying it. Bukayo Saka put the nation on his back, and it was like a vintage Arsenal goal. It was, bottom corner, outside the box, left foot. It's what he does best. It's just the only part of the game is we have to go a goal down for Southgate to react and make substitutions. Their manager made subs, I think, 14 minutes before they got the goal. But yeah, it's just Southgate ball. It stinks. It's horrible to watch. But like I said, backstage, by hook or crook, we're in the semi-final. And I actually think we're going to stink it against the Dutch. And then who knows? Who knows? We've been here before. Last time it was Italy. That Spain team, I think if we get them, it's going to be a long day at the office. But who knows? France haven't played well and they're in the semi-final as well. So it's stinky, but 2 games and we're there. And it may just come home. It may just come home. For the love of God, it may come home. So let's just have a little bit of faith.
What were you saying, Colleen? I mean, obviously, I don't know how much of it you're watching over there in Colombia, but we know we haven't been impressive, but we are in the semi-finals now, and they say that at this stage of a tournament, anything can happen. Do you feel it might come home, or is that a little bit premature?
I mean, considering the awful quality of football that we've been watching, it bloody better come home, and I'll come home with it if it comes home. Because honestly, I've been following all the games, and a part of me, when the Swiss went 1-0 up, I was thinking, okay, well, at least it's over. At least it's over. We haven't gone further. We haven't gone to the semi-finals. I don't have to watch these poor performances or these reactive tactics from Southgate rather than proactive. But you can't help just get your hopes up and start to feel it's coming home after Saka scoring and winning the penalty shootout. And as you say, France have been awful, offensively anyway. So if it's good enough for them, well, it should be bloody good enough for us. So fingers crossed.
Absolutely. And obviously, there's been a little bit of, I wouldn't necessarily call it fallout myself, but, Diane Abbott and Rio Ferdinand and people, Gav, sort of showing support to our penalty takers. And I will say it's probably the best penalty shootout I've seen in my lifetime England have in terms of confidence, quality of penalties, the goalkeeper saves as well. And after what happened to Rashford, Sancho, and of course Saka, it's been a bit of a weird sort of, the likes of Rio have kind of been attacked by some people on social media and some of the media for sort of making it about race. But yeah, I thought what he did was absolutely the right thing to do, because we knew what kind of torrid time those individuals would have been in for had they had missed any of those penalties and England went home.
One awful week for the gammon. Can we just say that? Labour winning the election. Then five black Donnies winning, scoring penalties. And like, yes, Cole Palmer is black. And then Lewis Hamilton also winning the F1. What an awful week for gammon. But it just goes to show that, you can't always... Practicing penalties is one thing, and doing it under the pressure is another thing completely. But the practice was there clearly, because all 5 penalties were executed expertly. And not just that, just the camaraderie when you saw them back on the halfway line, when they were walking down towards going to take the penalty, the S-housery from Pickford beforehand as well. I think everything was just there, ready to win that penalty shootout. I think this is probably the first time in a long time that there was very little doubt that I didn't think that England were going to win that penalty shootout. But why it got to that point, I don't know.
Yeah, that element I agree with. That element I agree with. We had so much of the ball in the game. We dominated so many elements. We're just struggling to... You are right. I think it may have been Henry earlier. So as soon as we go a goal down or there's some adversity, we kind of attack and we look a better team. And if Southgate had made those substitutions a little bit earlier and we'd have taken the initiative and scored first, I would have been overall really, really pleased with the performance. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one up against the Netherlands. I mean, they've not been... I don't know how you see it, Roy, but they've not been, particularly better than us either, if that makes sense. It's not as though we're going up against a well-oiled Dutch team. Do you fancy our chances on Wednesday night?
Well, I do fancy our chances. I'm not sure if I want us to win, though, because I get 240 quid if Netherlands win the Euros because of the sweepstakes didn't work. So a small part of me does want
Get him out of here. Get him out of here.
However,
this is why reforms on the rise. Like you, boy. Get out of here.
I was born and raised here, so obviously I'm going to root for England. I've watched all of Netherlands games. I think, again, they've not really been anything special. They've probably been a bit better offensively than we have. Also, we've seen that they can concede goals. Conceded to Turkey, conceded 3 to Austria in the group stage. They're not defensively as solid as Spain are. So I definitely do fancy our chances, and I think now's the right time for us to really show that, okay, cool, we can play well enough to get the job done, but at this point performances do matter because you're facing someone good. We faced Denmark, Slovenia, Slovakia, Serbia, and not being our best and getting over the finish line was good enough. But against Netherlands, France or Spain, we're actually going to have to play well to win. France won't let you off the hook if you don't play well. Spain definitely won't let you off the hook if you don't play well. And Netherlands, I expect the same thing. So I do fancy our chances. I'm hoping that we're going to be able to see Luke Shaw, because I really do think the left-hand side will spring into life if we can have a left-footed left-back who knows what to do going forward, is solid defensively. Because let's be honest, we've all been complaining about Trippier the whole tournament. So if we can get Luke Shaw back in, then I think that will help a lot. And I don't think we should be scared of them. I think if it goes to penalties, I back us. I didn't have a shred of doubt that we were going to score all 5. I didn't think Palmer, Bellingham, Saka, Jude, Saka, Tony, and Trent were going to miss. I knew they were all going to score. So it was just up to Pickford to get that one save to get us over the finish line. So if it goes to penalties, I back us. But I do think now is a time in this tournament where you've got to start seeing performances, and scraping over the finish line is good. It's good enough against the quality we faced so far. But if you look at that final 4 and the way we've been performing, it won't be enough to get the job done in 90 minutes or extra time. So, I fancy our chances, but we definitely do have to improve.
Yeah, we certainly want to go up another level from what we're seeing. And if we've got the talent to do it. And if this England team could click, go up another gear or 2 over the next 2 games, there is a genuine chance that football could come home, the trophy could be here, and 58 years of hurt could end. And I mean, it'd be a beautiful thing. As I say, we've been over here. The football terrace has been over here the whole time, and that the England fans have had the vast majority. Yes, there's been a few clips and bits that have gone out, but trust me, we'll talk about this more backstage. But KJ and the lads here have been like, the English have had their moments, but some of the other nations, some of the songs they were singing, some of the things they've said, our media just don't report on it because it's not it's not in a language we understand. Like some of the songs have been mad, trust me. But it's I hope we do it, and I hope we can get over the line, you know, and I mean that would really hurt some of the Gammons as well. It'd be great. It's true, and I want to say this. A few people in the comments saying, "Why is it even a thing?" What Rio said. Let me just say this now. I said it backstage. I'll say it on camera. If you're offended about racists being mocked, what does that say about you? He isn't talking about if people that are not racist. So if you're offended, maybe you got to look in the mirror a little bit. Take a little look. It shouldn't offend you. It's kind of weird. Do you know what I mean? I'm just putting it out there. Deep it for a minute. If it offends you, maybe you've got a problem. Because it certainly didn't offend me. Anyway, we'll move on from that and let the silly people at the back kind of worry about what's going on. A little bit more on that a bit later in the show. I want to shout out our title sponsors, by the way. We're sponsored again by Quiiiz today. If you haven't played this game with us before, you can play it by yourself at home. I was about to say you can play with yourself at home. Pause, Terry. But you can play this game whilst you are exactly. You can play this while you're at home. You can download the app now or go onto the website by scanning the QR code that you can see on the screen now or clicking on the link in the live comment section. But during this show, you are going to get to go head to head with somebody from our panel in a football quiz. We've got a free-to-play game, and then there is another where you can win a cash prize while we are live on air. That is coming later. I also want you guys, when we get nearer to it, you in the audience are going to tell us which member of the panel's football knowledge you want to challenge. And it is Premier League-based questions. I have no idea what the questions are. I have no idea what the answers are until we do it. But if you think you've got better football knowledge than any member of this panel, you can challenge them live on the air. So scan the QR code now. Go and get signed up to Quiiiz so you're ready to play later. Don't forget that you won't be able to play if you haven't signed up. So go and get that done now as we jump through some more of these subjects. CB, welcome back to the show, my friend. How are you, mate?
How you doing, man? It's been a minute.
It has been a minute, mate. Good. It's good to have you back on here, mate. And look, I wanted to go to you first, actually, because Enzo Maresca spoke for the first time today, and I want to quote what he said verbatim, so I'm not seen as misleading. But he basically says, when you join a club like Chelsea, you know it's a club that has to win. We're going to try and do our best to fight and be there with the clubs in the moment that are winning and fighting to win titles. So his words have mirrored what the press said. He basically said in his interview, which is he believes this Chelsea team can win Premier Leagues and challenge. Do you feel with him so far and the business you've done, the Dewsbury Halls, the toss-ins, a plethora of young talent, have you done enough so far to bridge that gap from 5th place to challenging the teams at the top next season?
Definitely not. If I'm actually being honest, I think we've worsened as a side. Our project has completely started again from the moment that they sacked Pochettino for an inferior manager. The fan base for people like CFC Roy and a lot of people in our fan base will tell you that everything's perfect. We've got a way better coach now, and tactically we'll do better when the sample size doesn't show that. He got relegated from Parma after 7 games or 13 games. He won the league title with Leicester. He had terrible form before he actually joined them, and now we're here. Whereas I know at least with Pochettino, he has his flaws, but we was literally 5 points off top 4. We had tough games against Sheffield and Burnley, which we should have won. And it is what it is. I look at that. I look at the signings we've signed. We've signed the likes of Tosin. I'm on a free transfer, so you can't even really criticize it because it's a free one at the end of the day. You can't complain. Dewsbury Hall in midfield. It's not really a Galactico, is he? But I would take that if that means it's a Gallagher replacement. Although I do feel like Gallagher would be the better player for us. And yeah, honestly, I'm upset. And I feel like I'm the only person that has. I actually wrote down a note of all the words that Chelsea fans have said today in regards to Enzo Maresca. Aura. Mystique gimmick. There's something about the way he uses these words. It's the bold head for me. Sack Poch again and rehire him. what's going on? I feel like I'm being gaslighted consistently, and I'm the only one. We went into this transfer window expecting a number 9 was going to spend the odd 80 million, 90 million on a striker, and Osimhen and Gyökeres. We were debating Sesko, which one should we get? And we got the John Duran links. You know what I mean? Or that guy from Atletico Madrid that nobody knows. This California cauliflower guy that has been the next, is the flavor of the month. They're telling me he's the next Maldini. He's chosen Arsenal over us. So now we've even lost our pool. Like I was warning everyone in advance. We've brought, I don't know who this Viega guy is, and apparently he's better than Ben Chilwell, a European champion. He was actually the best left back in the world when we won the Champions League at the time. Fair enough, he's had injuries, so has Reece James. No one will talk about it, but they want to replace him with a guy from Basel that no one knows. And because Clearlake done it, I'm a crazy guy for saying this is the opposite. Everyone's going to gaslight me consistently. We lost Elise. Wow. Like it's been a long summer. I've been away, so I'm just really just venting. I'm sorry for the monologue, but really, I've been fuming every step of the way because even with the Elise process, first and foremost, the first year he's chosen Crystal Palace. He would rather stay at Crystal Palace than join us. That wasn't a red flag to them. They've now decided to prop Elise every single day, tell us that he's better than Palmer. He's the Galactico Palmer, who's the reason why we didn't get relegated last season if you take away his goals and assists. They did all of this begging for Elise. When I grew up and I was watching Chelsea, we were signing Ballon d'Or winners like Shevchenko and getting Hazard, who was the best talent in the world after winning the Champions League. Now we're begging for players, and he mugged us off. And look at us now, back to square one. Project restarted because if we don't make top 4, they're going to say he's a new manager and the team is young, as usual. Sorry, I feel like I'm going crazy. My head's in Mars right now.
No, you're not. I want to throw this to Roy for a second. There's a lot to unpack there, but I wanted to speak about Enzo to begin with, Roy. I saw a lot of that today. The aura, the way he spoke, his communication. CB has obviously gone in on that. You know, this is a championship manager in his opinion, not as good as Poch. How do you see it, Roy? Are you as concerned about this appointment, or do you see the aura? Do you see the quality? Is all of that? Are you getting the sense that this is a top-class Chelsea manager that you've hired?
I mean, I don't know how this aura stuff started, so I'm not going to say I see the aura or anything like that, but I'm on the opposite side of the fence to CB. Listen, he's entitled to his opinion. I respect it. I'll hear it out. But me personally, I was so happy to see the end of Poch. I was so happy. As in, I would have been dancing if I wasn't in the office when the news came out. But so I think we've upgraded personally. I didn't know nothing anyone can say will change my mind. I thought Poch was an absolute shit show. I don't care about the 5 wins at the end. So I'm very, very happy that we replaced him. I think he's a good manager. I think he'll do very well here. On the preface that we back him. And if we look at our business so far, if we're really trying to like push up the table, and because my aim next season is to finish above Liverpool. That's where I think we should be. However, the business we're doing, that doesn't really scream we want to finish in the top 3. That screams we're probably happy where we are, and we shouldn't be happy where we are, because if we had a better manager, we would have finished in the top 4 last season. So we shouldn't be stagnating. This is the time to be pushing. And if Liverpool have just got a new manager, I don't particularly rate Ten Hag or United's rumoured business so far or whatever. And Spurs are Spurs, so we'll always finish above them. So there's a chance to really consolidate. I'm sorry you had to catch that straight, Kate. There's a real chance to like solidify ourselves as the 3rd or the 4th best team in the country, and then push on again to challenge the season after. But if you look at like Tosin, Dewsbury Hall, this Vega guy who I hadn't heard of like until like 2 days ago. I don't even know who else we've signed apart from Esteban, because he looks serious, but he won't be here next season anyway. That does not scream we're trying to push up the table. And I'm hoping that maybe they're just trying to get the easy deals done early, and the more difficult deals will be done later in the window. That I know that's incredible copium, but it's all I can hope for at this point, because if this is actually what we're going to be doing for the rest of the window, then regardless of how good Maresca is, we're still handicapping him. Like, I think I speak for a lot of Chelsea fans when we say our checklist was a goalkeeper, a centre-back, a Gallagher replacement, a winger, and a striker. And with the sales we could have made, we could have bought good players in those positions, but we've got 3 centre back who I personally don't believe is a required level to be the week in, week out starter at a club like Chelsea. A left back again who's unproven. He could come in and be brilliant. He could come in and be the worst one we have. We don't know. Gallagher's still here. He's not been replaced yet. We signed a Barcelona academy player as number 9. Again, he could come in and bang. We don't know. Or he could be raw and young as we expect. Or he could do really well. But again, there's too much uncertainty over how good our squad is. It's all relying on either players staying fit or players banging. And that's too much of a gamble, especially when there are clubs around us who will happily poach our position in the table if we're not at the level required to be at next season. So essentially, to summarize, I'm happy with Maresca. I think he's 100 times better than Pochettino. So that side, cool, no problem, I'm happy. But the business, I can't look at that and say, yeah, I'm really confident we're going to do well next season. And then I will inevitably start chatting shit before the season starts, because that's what I always do. But right now, I can't look at that business and say, oh, we're going to do X, Y, Z, we're going to beat X, Y, and Z, we're going to win all this stuff. Like, that business can't make me say that. So let's actually go and get some proven players who are ready to contribute now if we actually want to push up the table, because apart from City and Arsenal, the chance is there to grab any other position.
That's where I completely agree with you. I don't necessarily think your business has been bad business. I think Tottenham's very good. I actually think Dewsbury Hall is being a little bit underrated by some Chelsea fans. Where I agree with elements of what CB has said, though, if it's them two and then it just keeps being kids, I see that being a problem. And I think that because and as much as Chelsea fans think I'm hating, I don't believe I am. No one yet has been able to show me. And if you can show me, it will change my mind. The projects now or in the past where a club has predominantly had young talent in most of its positions without a strong core spine, where that team has developed into a title-winning, Premier League winning, Champions League winning football team. I can't think of the examples where that has happened. You can think about Man United class of 92, but they had a solid spine. You had the youngsters that came through at the same time as Messi, but look at that spine. I can't think of examples yet. And maybe other sports it's happened. I know the NFL clubs kind of do this where they tank a little bit. They build up loads of these great young players. But this isn't the NFL. We're a very different sport. When it comes to ours, that's the only element I would be concerned about. This idea of we're predominantly going to buy cheap and young and turn it into a super team. It's almost impossible to back it from a place of knowledge, because I just don't know where the examples are of it working. So where I agree is I think you've got to add some more star quality. But Don has come in here. I hope you're well, Don, by the way. He says, I've deeped it. When people don't know about players, it'll forever be underwhelming. Is that more your issue here, CB? What Don says, that just because you don't have the knowledge of the players, therefore you find it underwhelming?
Wait, before CB goes, just sorry, 1 second, bro. About the whole buying kids thing, we're very, very reliant on everybody doing a Cole Palmer, and that's not a sensible risk to take at all, because there are going to be some kids who aren't quite ready for the level, are going to be inconsistent, our performances will be inconsistent, their heads will drop if they have a bad game, they might get overconfident if they have a good game, and not everyone's going to be Cole Palmer where he comes in and he's the best young player in the league in his first season. Like, we can't rely on that. That's why you need, like Terry was saying, a proven core, an experienced core who have been there, who have done it, who can guide the few young players in the team around them. But if you've got so many kids in the starting 11, if a few of them aren't performing well, who's gonna pick them up? They're gonna be looking to like a 22-year-old with like one full season under his belt, and Cole Palmer to be picking them up. That's why I wanted a good core to build the young kids, to build the young players around, and then if things don't go well, then you can look towards an experienced centre back or your goalkeeper or a number 9, someone who's been there and done it, because you know what, it's a tough time. We're still in this game. We can come back. We'll win our next game. Blah blah blah. But hoping like all these kids we sign are just going to do a Cole Palmer and just absolutely kill the league, it's not a sensible risk.
Sorry, back to you, CB. I've only been muting you, CB, because there's a bit of background noise when
No,
you're
it's
not talking. But
sorry about that.
Go for it, bro.
But yeah, just to piggyback of your point, in terms of the young players, for me, my main concern is the academy, which has proven in the last 20 years to really be the best academy in the world, challenging next to La Masia. The amount of players that have been produced even throughout the league, the players that are not really out there. But then I'm looking at now the likes of Neil Bath leaving, and then today the news about Rio Nagamura going to Liverpool is a highly regarded Cobham talent. It looks like the pathway towards the academy to the senior team has completely died with this project that they're doing. There's Stavao, Williams, and the Paez's, and they are talented players. I'm not saying no to it. You know, I do want a little bit of Neymar's and that coming to my team, but the Jinkies and all of that. But I don't know these people. This is my issue with Don, because we signed Mark Gayu, who now I'm no football thesaurus historian type of guy, but La Masia have never produced strikers. I know them for the midfielders, the defenders, in terms of flary players, but the last striker that I've thought of in my top of my head that they produced is Berjan Kokic, who ended up at Stoke. So I'm looking at that and I'm like, okay, 6 million. We'll look at all the big names, the Oshimens we were linked to. That's not really great. I've seen us being linked to the likes of Upamecano and Delete, and you brought me Tosin. Now, no disrespect to Tosin, but I feel like everything that we've been put in our face that Elise says, and then we turn around and get a Drewsbury Hall, it's like we're getting marked off. I don't know. It's not really. It's not. I don't. If Tosin turns out to be a great player, KDH turns out to be a great player. Kudos to them. My hats off to them. Same with Paez and so on. But why are we taking these risks? Why can't we just get winners? Even in terms of the young players we're signing, we're not signing the Arda Gulas. I'm seeing Arda Gula in Turkey balling out. I'm seeing Lamine Yamal balling out. We're signing players that we're guessing. We don't know what's going on. Even Willian Estavio. At the end of the day, this is the worst Brazilian team we've seen all the time. Like in a long time, Ronaldinho's been complaining. Why is he not at Copa America? Hendrick stinks. So I'm looking at all of these young players they're talking about, and they're not really doing it. Paez is, kudos to him, but that's 1 in 3. This is my point. It's a risk. But that's my issue with Don. He's always moaning. Big up to him.
I want to first at the rivals, and I've got to Colleen first on this. I mean, I know there's no love lost between you and Chelsea being a Gooner, but what have you made of their business so far and the appointment of their new manager? Do you see them being an imminent threat to the sort of the title challenge, or are you sort of happy as a rival with the business activity at Chelsea?
I do not concern myself with any business that is going on at Chelsea. That's how far away they are from Arsenal. Now, Roy in particular, I'm going to need to virtually hold your hands when I tell you this. So are you ready? I just want to hold your hand, tell you this. You're not challenging for 3rd place next year. I don't know what just popped into your head there. I don't know what's going on. That's not happening. You should be grateful and happy if you guys can get about 5th again. And in my opinion, with Chelsea, I think the fans are going to have to learn to go back about 25, 30 years and get some patience, because you've got a new owner coming in. You've bought a load of players, a lot of players. There's a lot of money going about. There's a lot of rumours going on. There's a lot of talk all in and around Chelsea. You kind of need a reset. You need a fresh manager to come in, and it's probably not going to click straight away. I mean, these players aren't his players. You know, that's the nature of the job when you get a new manager who comes in. But the back end of last season, listen, I know you weren't happy with Poch, but I don't think all the problems were all from Pochettino. I don't think if you just swap him out, get a couple of signings in, and Chelsea back to challenging for 3rd. So I'm just going to need you for your own mental health to just say in your head that Tottenham and Liverpool are probably going to pop past you.
Okay, not Spurs.
Do you see how?
Even for me to say Spurs, but we live in crazy times. We live in crazy times. Chelsea
Do you see how bad we've fallen off? We're debating about whether we should challenge for 3rd. Look at the way the standards are falling amongst us, though. It should be straight titles. We're here talking about 3rd place. So what's 3rd place to us?
I think it'd be very lucky even if you get European football, because Villa, I don't think they're going to go away anytime soon. Look, we know Arsenal and City are going to be up there doing their thing. Okay, I hate Tottenham as much as Colleen does, but Tottenham, they came in with an attitude last season, and I feel that the board are actually buying into a little bit of what Angie's doing as well. So Spurs are going to be up there again. I don't think they'll challenge for a league, but they'll be up there again. Villa, Newcastle got money. They're going to have an opportunity to try and spend some. Chelsea, they've already spent so much money over the last X amount of time. I think the clientele that you've bought aren't good enough, aren't strong enough. I also feel that, well, apart from Tosin, I actually really do like Tosin. I would definitely have him at Arsenal, but I don't see. I personally would have him up there starting alongside Saliba, but that's my personal opinion. It's my personal opinion. I like Gabriel, but I think it's a bit too erratic, and I feel like Tosin's a much more calmer head. But that's my opinion. Dewsbury Hall is going to be 26 in a couple of months' time. I know he's already had Premier League experience, but he's not a kid. When he was showing face in the Premier League last time out, he wasn't a kid. So I don't feel a player of that age, that level of experience, is someone who's going to help push you forward. Not just that, how many managers have Chelsea gone through over X amount of time? I thought it was going to be a little bit different when Todd Bowley came in. I thought it was going to be a bit more like, okay, this is who we got in, and this is a project. We're going to take some time. Look what Arsenal are doing. We start here, and then we go forwards. Chelsea aren't doing that. They've already proved that they're not doing that. And then they've brought in, let's be honest, an unproven manager at this level. It's only going to take until Christmas when Chelsea fans will half and half. I feel like Roy and CB, one of you at Christmas will be saying, we need to give him time. The other one will say, bun him, get him gone. I don't know which one of you, because I don't know either of you very well. But I can't see Maresca being any more than 7th or 8th at Christmas time. And then at that point, the pressure is going to be on. Are they going to spend more money in December? And if so, who? Because we know that the December market, everything's skewed. So it's a player that would normally be 20 mil, you'll end up waiting and having to spend 40, 50 million on that same player. Are they going to be able to come in and hit the ground running? Who knows? If I was a Chelsea fan, I would be very, very worried right now.
Just inject it. Just inject it. I hope they get worse and worse and worse.
I was trying to be nice, Harry. Okay, bun him. Yeah, bun him.
The opinion that this manager who's had one year in the Championship is going to do better than Poch, I think is absolute nonsense. Like you were a couple of wins off Champions League. Now you're bringing in a guy that's managed Leicester. Like at least Arteta had 3 or 4 years under Pep. Like Maresca was there, a year, then left and joined Leicester. The transfer business, like I don't get what the short-term plan. The long-term plan is you hope all these young players turn into Cole Palmers and gems, but the FFP does not add up. You need to get back in the Champions League. I don't know if the new manager is going to do that. It's probably the most competitive going into next season. The Premier League's been in a long, long time. It's gone from like a top 4 to a top 6. There's probably 8 very, very strong teams next season. And you've got the Bournemouths and the Brightons in there as well. Like Chelsea, if they kept Poch and then, he wanted to get rid of Gallagher, which is probably why you brought Dewsbury Hall in, because they listened. You at least you've got a year under your belt. I know Caicedo's coming out of all these comments and all that, but that's just one player. I don't really understand what Chelsea are doing. And I'll be honest, I'll be amazed if Maresca makes the season and is not sacked. Because I just don't understand. You've gone from a manager that's managing the Championship for 1 year. Like CB said, this is a side that's won 5 Premier League titles, 2 Champions Leagues, 2 Europa Leagues, and now you're buying 16-year-olds from Barcelona. Like, it just doesn't add up. Like, you've literally fallen off of a cliff. Chelsea, up until last year, had won more trophies in the last 20 years than any team in England, or made more finals, or whatever the stat is. And now, I don't know, man. I don't really get what
the short-term plan is. The short-term plan is the hope that this guy is the second coming of Pep. That's the only way this can work.
CB, what evidence is there of that? You've managed Leicester. And you were 70 points clear and nearly fumbled it.
And everyone almost bottled it. Yeah, this question that you asked me, this is where Roy steps in, because we clash a lot on playback with the 3-2-5 build-ups and the hexagrams and the joga de positions, JDPs, all of this, the theory of football, the Cruyffers. So I don't know this stuff. For me, I see if there's no silverware, I'm not invested.
We're bringing back the original Chelsea. We're bringing back the good old days of 30, 40 years ago of Chelsea. And I will be at Stamford Bridge welcoming back those glory days of 6, 7,
crazy?
8
I just made a hat. A blue one. It's Make Chelsea Great Again. We're doing a Donald Trump campaign over here. So Make Chelsea Great Again. Enough's enough.
I want to be fair to Chelsea, though. Obviously, the interview came out today from Caicedo, and I'm going to sort of paraphrase what he said at the same time as giving you my interpretation, that essentially the coaching and the feedback from Pochettino was so poor that him and his agent had to hire their own people to watch his performances, watch his training, give him feedback and to help him. Like, do you think that's fair, Kate? I mean, if a player's having to do that, that does at the very least imply that Poch wasn't doing enough for his players last season. You're on mute. Sorry, sweetheart.
Oh, did I mute myself? I didn't even know I did that.
No,
sorry.
There was a background noise. I muted everybody because there was background noise. I wasn't sure who it was. That was me. Sorry.
You confused me. Yeah, do you know what? I think, is it Roy in the top corner?
Yeah.
I think you're brave to come out and say Maresca's 1,000 times better than Poch, because there's absolutely nothing that suggests that to be the case at all. I think Poch had finally got you on a sort of playing in a good way. I actually had fears that Chelsea were getting better and better, and then you've gone and sacked him and brought in this guy who, I agree with Henry, I don't think he'll make the season. And you disregard all these teams. I mean, Villa have got a far better manager than you have, without a shadow of a doubt, in Unai Emery. Tottenham have finished above you for the last 2 seasons, so you can waffle on about how you always finish above us, but that's a load of shit. I think you're disregarding a lot of other teams because Chelsea fans like yourself are quite entitled and still think that they are going to win everything. But now Roman Abramovich has gone. I said this a few months ago. Chelsea fans have got to understand where they are now in the pecking order. You can live off all the trophies you've won. And yeah, Tottenham would love to win that many trophies. But now you're not there anymore. And it's going to take a while, in my opinion, to get back to where you are. But I really, oh God, we've got the king of wafflers here now. I really don't think Maresca is an upgrade.
I love this song. I've been listening, just listening, laughing.
Come on, then, John. Go on, I'm finished. I'll let you go.
Okay, you're getting one thing you're forgetting is that we're still Chelsea. This is what I like to pent my when I'm frustrated. It's because I'm talking to my fans, my people, But really, when we talk to you guys, let's not forget here. It is Arteta super project. Your last trophy was in 2020. Our last trophy 2022.
Sorry. I forgot. Just by saying we're still Chelsea, we'll now give you Champions League.
No, but this is what you guys need to remember. It's heritage here. At our worst, we went to a cup final and a cup semi-final, just missed top 4, and it's a crisis season for us. Remember who we are. You guys were finishing.
Yeah, but CB, I hear that. But I get it. You are a very, very successful football club. But I don't think under this new regime, you are going to be that club. And I'll say it on camera, I don't think you're going to be that same team for at least a decade. Because this regime is all over the place. Mm-hmm. You're bringing in Maresca, who apparently is a better manager than Pochettino, yet he's only managing the Championship.
He's a better coach than Pochettino. He is.
Based on what? Based on what?
He is a better coach than Poch.
Based on what? He's never managed the Champions League.
Did you not see what? Did you not just listen to what Terry told you? It's only Spurs.
One comment.
They never give you a real reason.
It's only Spurs fans that love to defend this manager, right? Because this
Arsenal fans are coming out saying Poch is better than Maresca.
Came to your club. This manager came to your club and was a nearly man. You know what I'm saying? He was a bottle job. Yeah, that's what he was, right? And you don't wanted him to stay at Chelsea because you knew the progression was going to be so slow. Yeah, so slow to the point where guys had to go hire a coach. Yeah, you've got a coach that you go to every day at your place of work. You're having to hire a separate coach to teach you how to position yourself.
And who's to say that's not bullshit?
How to play better, bro, on the pitch, bro.
Why would he lie, though? Why would he lie?
He didn't say how to play better. This is just.
It is to play better, though, because Caicedo at the beginning of the season was all over the place. Yeah, and without him, CB, people think Gallagher was our best midfielder, bro. Without Caicedo, we would have lost a lot more games, bro. Yeah, we would have been in tatters without Caicedo. Yeah, and what Poch has done, this is why I hate Poch so much. I didn't think I would hate a manager more than Poch. Yeah, because
tell them again, man.
He's warped people's mind into thinking this team is bad. So let me ask you a few questions then, H. Yeah. So you're telling me that in Nkunku, Lavia, Fofana, all these guys fit. Reece James and that is a shit team then, yeah? So it's a bad team.
Well, Lavia we haven't seen because the guy's made of glass. And Nkunku got an
Is Lavia a good player, yes or no, though?
Yeah, of course he is. But the guy was injured the whole year.
And before that, he played the most minutes for any under 20 at Southampton, bro.
That's what's cooked him.
His fault, though.
I'm saying
it's not because the player's injured. Is it,
Bro,
Like,
but, yeah, but there's no evidence right now from the Prem to say Lavia's injury prone. He had a big injury last year, yes, but he was rushed back by Poch.
Okay, but
the
him
same
having
guy
an
he
injury,
defended. They told us
and Lavia having
the
injury.
medical team told Poch. The medical team told Poch Lavia's not ready, and he still decided to bring him on against Palace, bro. I was even at that game.
I just want to throw something in quickly about the Caicedo thing. I feel like Caicedo only got good once Enzo Fernandez was injured.
Facts.
That's
Let's talk about it.
Enzo was injured at the back end of the season, right? And then we started
6 games. Caicedo was balling for about 25 games before.
Caicedo was
25. That is a stretch. Look, he made him leave. Made him leave. Look, Enzo.
Found his feet, he was silently balling week in, week out.
Enzo and Caicedo.
When Enzo became injured, when Enzo was injured for like 6-7 games, it's nonsense.
Enzo and Caicedo do not work together. It's very much like it's very much like when England were trying to shoehorn Scholes, Lampard, Gerrard in midfield. It wouldn't work. And this is not me saying that Enzo's a bad player or saying that Caicedo's a bad player. They're both very good, but they don't work together. And I think that's what I don't know. I'm the Poch.
Guys, let me just jump in here. Guys, let me just jump in for a moment, please. Guys,
so why don't they work together?
Guys, let me jump in for a second, please. I think, look, we have done 150 shows on the terrace talk about why they don't work together. I've got a question that I think is more important. Dewsbury Hall is coming in to play in your first team. I don't think you sign him from the team that Maresca was just at not to play in your first team. So let's say Lavia's fit. Let's say Enzo's fit. Let's say Caicedo is fit. Dewsbury Hall is playing. Who is missing out in your midfield? That, for me, is a more interesting conversation because someone can't... And I'm talking about the main... Dewsbury Hall is one of your starters in midfield, in my humble opinion. Who misses out? Because the only one it seems to it can be is Enzo.
Why is it Enzo that's missed out?
It's a healthy headache to have, and it's hard to say, Terry, right now, because we are yet to see Maresca in pre-season yet. You know what I'm saying? We're yet to see him, but with Enzo Fernandez, he's a very similar profile to what Maresca had with Harry Winks, playing that deep line playmaker. We had Ricardo Pereira inverting and helping him in midfield. So for me, I don't think Enzo is going to play as one of the advanced eights. I think it's going to be the deep line playmaker if he does start playing that role, and then you're going to have Dewsbury Hall in the left half space, and probably maybe Cole Palmer on the right half space. But then what does that mean for Caicedo? You know, is Palmer going to play on the right? But then Maresca likes touchline wingers, you know? So it's interesting, bro. That's what I'm saying. I'm looking forward to preseason to see what happens. But it's not, I'm not going to sit here and say Enzo Fernandez needs to start every single game, because you might know I don't think he's world class, right? And for me, if someone's playing better than him, he can hold bench and he can play certain games. It is where it is. I don't know why people think Enzo's, guaranteed to start. For me, the only guaranteed starter is Cole Palmer right now. Everyone else can be dropped, bro. That's how I see it. And Caicedo, I would say, yeah, he's guaranteed to start for me as well.
With that in mind, then how can you believe that Chelsea are even going to do anything next season? If there's only one player out of your starting 11, all this excitement, all this hope or whatever, or only one player you could guarantee. Like, I can name 9 at Arsenal. I think even Man United could probably name 5 or 6 that are guaranteed to start next season. Tottenham can name 8 or 9 next season that are guaranteed to start. Chelsea can name 1. That's not a good place to be.
Bro, I can give you the 11 that I'll go with, but what I'm saying is from
but there's only one that you can think of guarantee is starting.
The reason why I'm saying that, bro, is the performances that we've seen in the past year. The only one that I'm looking at really that's undroppable for me is Cole Palmer. Because Reece James, I think it will be good.
That's not a good place to be, bro.
Bro, that's where we are. That's the reality of it. That's where we are.
Exactly that. And that's why they're not going to do anything for the next X amount of years.
We are. And one thing I kept banging on about last season, was the fact that we had a manager that didn't know how to work with the players that we've got. And it's only now that some of these players are saying, yo, this guy was playing ping pong football. I came from Brighton. I was playing tactical football, technical football, and all of these things. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? So it was very clear to see that the club are taking a step in the right direction. Whether guys don't like Maresca or not, Maresca likes possession style football. And that is what our team is being built on. We're being built with a team full of technical players that want to combine together and not play in large amounts of spaces. And like I said, if you watch Leicester last season, they played some good football, bro. Towards the end, yes, they fell off a bit. I've spoken to a few Leicester fans. They said they kept missing a lot of chances. A lot of people, the mentality kind of went because they thought they already got promoted and whatnot. But overall, they were happy with what Maresca came in and did. And don't forget, bro, when Leicester went down, they were shocking because we even beat them that season, bro. Remember we beat them 3-1, and I even went to that game, Leicester away. Leicester was so bad that season, so he came in. Yes, you know, there was a few Premier League players left, but he lost Maddison. You know, he didn't have Fofana and whatnot. You know, so he still had to rebuild and get things ticking again. You know, so for me, I think a lot of people are sleeping on Maresca because they don't really know much about him. But for me, from the research that I've done on him from his time at Leicester, and just from what a lot of players have said about him and whatnot, I think he's gonna do well at Chelsea. I'll be very surprised.
I've got a question for you.
If he comes in and struggles, bro, I'll be real.
If that's the case, he's this sort of savior for these. He's the really the tactical, the ultimate tactical. The way you guys say in terms of tactics, he sleeps tactics, he breathes tactics. All of this, he's this ultimate tactician. I expect, top four at the very least. Even that, scrap the top four. We should be challenging for the title until December. We should be in the title race by Christmas time and fall off afterwards.
Oh, for me, my expectations. We spoke the other day on my channel, bro. Yeah. My expectations, I already told you, top 4 minimum and to challenge for all the trophies. And that silly Happy Meal trophy that we're in because of this stupid manager you like to defend. This stupid manager you like to defend. We better win. We better win that silly trophy as well, yeah, because we're in it now. You know what I'm saying? But end of the day, if we find ourselves in a situation where we're able to challenge, of course my expectations are going to change, bro. I'm going to want us to go for it. But when I'm hearing people saying Chelsea are going to finish 8th, finish 10th, bro, again. I don't need no validation. I don't need no validation, yeah? You man can say all of that. These days, I just document it and I will be back. I will be back, bro.
You see the word that you used, if Fofana, Reece, Nkunku, Lavia, all of that. What if these guys get injured again? Which isn't a shocker. Reece has been injured on the bounce 3 years in a row now. I look at Lavia, fair enough. You said, he's played the most minutes, and then he gets a serious injury. And even the injury he got re-aggravated into another one. This sounds like Pedro to me. So let's say he gets injured again. Nkunku, we signed him fresh of an MCL injury after the World Cup. He's come back. He's got the knee injury, start and stop. He was injured again. Fofana, let's not take the piss here, innit? He's got a broken leg and an ACL on both different legs. And then he's missed the whole season. He ain't touched grass. People are excited about seeing him training pics. Or in the sewers. He spent 70 million on it. So if all those 5 players are not fit, let's be honest, we're fucked.
I said this earlier. And that's why I'm glad that they've taken another step in changing the medical team, bro. Because that's another thing I kept telling you about. As much as I think Poch was injuring guys with the intense training and that, and running about the whole 90 minutes, I still think the medical team wasn't good enough. And that's something that today has come out. They've changed it completely. So we have to hope that's better. And I told you about Leicester's injury record last year, CB, James Justin and Ricardo Pereira didn't miss a single game between them. And these are guys that just came back from big injuries. And the reason why is because of how Maresca likes his team playing, bro. It's not no ping-pong football where guys can, maximize injury, Obviously, players can always get injured. Players can always get injured, yes. No one's saying that they can't. But you want to minimize the chance of getting injured. That's why Arsenal barely had any injuries. Man City barely had any injuries in comparison to us and Man United. Because we was a mess. Man United was ping-pong football, and so was Chelsea, bro. And that's why our players kept getting injured. That's a big factor as to why our players got injured. You're not gonna see many injuries, in my opinion.
Guys, I'm just gonna say, let's not bring the most successful club on this panel tonight, last season. Let's not bring us into this conversation. Leave Man United out of it, please. I don't want no. I do hear you. I want to go to some of these super chats here. First one here says where to start. It's from Blaze. It says the way Henry be talking. Who are Spurs signing to be considered by everyone to be back up there? Our fans are deluded right now, but the Spurs delusion is wild.
Can I just say something as well, Terry? Just before Henry comes in, Spurs had an amazing start to the season, right? And you were 14 points ahead of us, and you ended up finishing 1 point ahead of us, and we beat your ass twice, right? So you're telling me that you're coming with this energy that you're gonna have the exact same start again? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think we'll ever stand. Go on, Kate.
No, because you keep putting yourself ahead of us. That's what you keep doing.
No, I personally said that we finished above you 2 seasons in a row. I've just got to say, Don, you criticise Poch every time for having your players run around. How dare a football manager demand that his players run around for 90 minutes? Your players aren't made of chalk. They should be running around that pitch every single game. But nobody on this panel, me nor Henry, have said that Spurs are signing people and we're going to be up title challenging. We're just saying, Chelsea fans, we haven't come on here with chest like you Chelsea fans have, saying that you're this, that and the other, excluding CB there. I'm excluding CB from that.
Thank you, Auntie.
Terry, what was the super chat again? Because it addressed me. What was it?
It said that basically, like, you're coming with more delusion than the Chelsea fans.
I haven't said we're gonna.
I'm just eating some of these insane cane crisps that they sell here in Germany. So
I haven't said we're going to challenge. I expect there to be serious progression this year, but I don't know how Kate feels. I think we're going to be fanned out in a lot of games because Ange is. I don't know how we're going to cope with Thursday, Sunday. That's another big thing we're going to have, and that's why he wants a bigger and better squad. But I still do think we'll have a better season than Chelsea, only because we're a year under our manager. You're buying understudies to understudies, and now starting a project again. This is why, like, if you were to sign,
that's what you think. That's what you think, bro. Why do people think, that it takes a whole season for a good coach to put things together? Why did it take Glasner? Why did it take Glasner a few games? Hold on, Henry. Yeah, why did it take Glasner a few games to just be able to put together a competent structure and go and batter United 4-0?
What pressure is he got? Palace?
New manager bounce.
It's Palace.
Let's not do this. It's Palace, bro. It's the same concept, bro.
They've never won anything in their life,
bro. I'm talking about how they were playing when he came in. You could clearly see that it was completely different, and it was a lot better than when they had Hodgson. You know what I'm saying? And then going back to what Kate said about running, bro. All these footballers should be running, yes, but not in acres of space the way that we was running about. Yeah, you had Caicedo lone six by himself. You had Enzo box crashing as the second striker. Everyone seems to see what Southgate does with our players. But when it comes to Chelsea, the players are just shit. It's not the manager. It's not the coaching. The players are just shit. You overrate your players. That's the problem with you guys. But when it's Southgate, you can clearly see the wrongdoings that he's doing. So for me, a good coach, it doesn't take a whole year, bro, to put a team together.
No, I'm not saying it takes a whole year.
A good coach is going to come in with a lot of clarity. Yeah, a lot of clarity. And what I like about Maresca as well, at least I can understand what this brother's saying, bro. Poch is fighting with words, bro. I'm struggling to understand, I was struggling, bro. When he first came England, bro, big himself up because I can only speak one language, yeah? But remember he used to have a translator next to him. You know what I'm saying? And one thing that they've spoken about, a lot of the players, Snodgrass, Dewsbury Hall, what's his name, Harry Winks, they've all said, that when Maresca...
Look at the names you're spouting now. They're not
Harry Winks, he left us.
These are guys that have been managed by him, because some of us are actually...
Harry Winks.
Terry, this is the problem that they've got in my fan base. Terry, it's the problem they've got in my fan base, yeah? The reality is we're hiring
Leicester. That means he can't be good.
Exactly. This is the problem.
How nonsensical.
Wait.
Like, I can't stress enough how stupid it is to say that because he's only managed Leicester.
Exactly.
He can't be good.
Let me laugh my point. One of the things that Dewsbury Hall, let me even use Dewsbury Hall because he plays for Chelsea now as well. One of the things that he spoke about, is as soon as Maresca came in, we've been playing football for a long time because these are professional footballers. Been doing it from young. He said, bro, the way he explains things, he just makes it so clear. And an example that I've used, is with like in school with maths teachers, bro. You used to have a maths teacher sometimes who it don't matter how many times they explain things, you just don't understand it, bro. You don't understand it. But a certain maths teacher will come and he'll tell you the exact same thing. He'll show you something. No, hold on, Stevie. He'll show you something a little bit differently, and you'll understand it. Same thing as
Are you saying, Don, that you've hired a PE teacher?
No, we've hired a guy that's gone to Pep's uni. You know what I'm saying? Just like Arteta, So listen, people are sleeping on him.
I agree. Let me just jump in and say I agree with the element that Don and Roy have just said. I think that writing him off, I believe in two things. I don't think you can write him off because we haven't seen him. I also don't think, and I'm not saying Don has done this, I don't know, but I've seen other Chelsea fans, this whole we will be challenging really quickly. I don't think there's any evidence for either of those claims. And that for me is where I think the balance needs to come in, because if you're saying you can't write him off because he's only had 1 year at Leicester, you equally can't say he's going to do great things because there's no evidence of that either. This super chat here says, I swear when I hear Don waffle, I feel like I'm listening to a Jehovah's Witness knocking on the door at 4 a.m. Poch is clear of Maresca. Stop.
Matt Poch,
here.
bro? Who is this guy, bro?
Matt says, this blaming Poch for everything is a joke. I can't lie. Kate watched Poch make Delhi one of the best English talents we've ever seen.
Matt, you were about 7 years old at the time. By the way. Football's moved on from how he plays.
The disrespect towards Spurs, what makes Chelsea fans think finish past Spurs when they improve? Roy, by the way, I'm a United fan. Also, United will finish above Chelsea.
No chance.
I think so.
United team that finished below us.
You see,
Clear of us.
You see all of this talk about players talking about his time in Leicester. Why don't they ever ask the Palmer players that way he got relegated in 13 games how their performance were? Why does everyone act like
I can tell you about that time. They brought in a bunch of players that season, bro. So many players. There was upheaval over there. Them sides.
And also, I will have to say it. Getting sacked by Parma, right? Italian managers, especially in Serie, like bottom end of Serie A and Serie B, being a Palermo fan as well. Look, we had Roberto De Zerbi in charge, and he got sacked after a short amount of games. And look at what he's gone on to do so far. So I will defend Maresca a little bit at that point, but that's the only defense I've got for him at the moment.
I just think that people need to realize, now we're now entering a new era of football where all these managers that aren't big names or big names are now taking over from big jobs, bro. Like companies at Bayern Munich. Hold on. You've got Maresca at Chelsea right now. Chelsea are not the club that we grew up on anymore, where it's like, oh, go bring me a winning manager like a Conte, go bring me a Mourinho. All of these guys, bro, they're expired, bro. You know, they're not ready to be doing what we're all trying to build at the minute right now. You know what I'm saying? This is where football is going, and guys like CB need to learn to accept it and be more open-minded because you're living in the time. Sometimes are dead and gone, bro. They're gone.
What's your expectation? Let's say, how long is Maresca's contract? Is it 5 years? Isn't it? What's your expectation for the next 2 years of Chelsea?
I told you already. Next season, top 4, definitely, right? And win me the Conference League and obviously challenge for all the trophies. The season after that, I expect to start challenging. You know what I'm saying? I expect to start challenging. You know.
The top 4.
Look, guys, guys, I've got to get through a few more of these super chats here. This one says, Chelsea fans are sleeping on Spurs and Aston Villa. If they will just go away to let Chelsea in. Is Maresca better than Ange, Unai Emery, Arteta, Pep? You see my point. These are already like I think he means top 4 managers. I mean, would you say Maresca's better than Ange, better than Emery, better than Arteta? Would any of you guys say he's better than those managers?
No.
Please just think about this first.
I'm going to plead the 5th.
Yeah.
For one of them.
So that means
I know what I want to say anyway.
I'll plead the 5th.
They're criminals. They're absolute criminals.
So I want a very quick answer, Don, just because we've got other subjects. And you laughed at the idea of Man United finishing ahead of you. So if Ten Hag, who's staying on, finishes ahead of your manager, surely that means you want him sacked.
Nah. What do you mean by that? Because you can finish ahead of us. You can finish third. You can finish third.
No, I tell you as to why. You've just laughed at the idea of United finishing ahead of you, as if that would be that like it's pathetic and stupid. If you finish behind the team you're laughing at, surely you've got to sack the manager. That's logic, real logic.
I'm laughing at how dismissive that super chat was. That's what I'm laughing at because we just finished above you. That's what I'm laughing. United, bro, we don't know what you're gonna do. At the end of the window, Terry, I will come on here and I'll predict. You know what I'm saying? As always,
okay.
You know.
I hear you. This here says rivals who are saying Chelsea won't be back for a decade. That's what they wish for. Wish for it to be. They are just being delusional as usual. Matt here also says, remember who we are, brother. You got pumped 5-0 and Kai Havertz dunked on you twice.
I'm with trophy list like you.
How many trophies did you win that game?
You had guys, Terry, that game. That game. You know what it is, yeah?
Havertz scored twice.
I won one.
You see that game? These Arsenal fans are so shameless because they were the same fan base that was celebrating when they saw that Cole Palmer was ill and Gusto was injured as well. Yeah, I was even at that game. Yeah, I was even at that game at the Emirates. Guys were walking out bare earlier now. You know what I'm saying?
Matt also said Spurs can't chat to Chelsea in regards to trophies. 1000% I agree with that. Obviously. But reality-wise, as in the present, it's a different story.
The Spurs lost more games than us, by the way, last season.
Well, what trophy, innit? They finished above us, man.
Yeah, because we had
that's big.
If we didn't have Poch in charge, we would have finished top 4 comfortably.
That was big. That was big for Henry. That's why he dyed his hair blonde in celebration.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Heroes was coming up, and I just
the real reason he dyed it blonde, he says for the years, is because he wanted to look like his Spurs hero, Kate. That's why he did it. He's got the same haircut as Kate now. That's what he did. A team is going to struggle when the fans are doing mental gymnastics. Speaking from experience as a United fan. Mm-hmm. Listen, there is a part of me that understands that. I do think, having done this job for a long time now, when I hear, and this isn't a dig at any particular fan base or anyone on the panel, just general thought, when I hear if this happens, if that happens, if this goes on, if the stars align, if there's an eclipse, if pigeons start to fly upside down, we might do something. That's Arsenal fans aren't saying that this year. Most Chelsea City fans certainly don't say it. It's just I think we'll do this. So it does say a little bit. This here says, oh, sorry, I already done that one here. To be honest, I'm optimistic when it comes to Chelsea, but this either goes really well or bad. That is my prediction for Chelsea at this particular juncture. We have to wait to the end of the window. I think Maresca's either going to be amazing or it's going to be a disaster. I don't think it's going to be this middle of the road thing. I think it's going to be impeccable or really bad. That's just my gut feeling goes with that as well, mate. It says either way, back to being a top four and challenging for cup trophies, or Maresca's gone by January, and so is the structure. What else we got here? No chance, Roy. You'll be Enzo out by December.
No chance.
Maybe.
I'll be Enzo out. No chance.
There's a quick.
Unless he's doing worse than Poch, no chance.
There's a question here for Kate. It says, Kate, would you date a Gooner?
Well, I've been married for too long to ever think about dating anyone anymore. Oi,
oi, Jimbo. Jimbo, you listening? At least you're safe, Jim. You're safe, Jim. Hope you're well, mate. Why is the English media so cancerous when it comes to standards to winning? I am going to say this. I'm going to defend the English media a minute, but give me some time to land. I'm out here in Germany. Their newspapers are no different. We've been reading them. We've been asking the Germans, what does this mean? Translating. We've been talking. We were chatting to some Albanians, and they were saying how their media is going in on their players. One thing we are in England is we're like a little shoebox nation. We think everything that goes wrong or we don't like in our country is exclusive to England. My thoughts, my theory is to you is travel the world more and don't. And I'm sure Colleen will advocate for this because of what she's been doing in Colombia. When you go on holiday to a holiday resort to the Maldives, you're like, oh, the Maldives is the best country in the world. That holiday resort isn't reality. Like where I'm staying in Germany now, it's literally basically a council estate in a suburb, in a working class area of Germany. You're chatting to real people. And we could go to the touristy places. That's not real Germany. So I will say that the press in every country goes at their people. But do you know why we don't see it? Because we ain't speaking German or French or Albanian and picking up their newspapers. So I'm not, what they do is wrong still, but it's not exclusive. It's what the media does everywhere around the world. And I'm sure you've met Colombians that have said similar things, Colleen, since you've been there. It's because you've lived a real life out there.
They think England's the best country in the world. And I was like, are you having a bubble, mate? I was like, do you want to fly us a little bit? You're spot on.
Yeah, yeah, people do. Like, we've met a lot of people here. Oh, you're English. They're quite excited to see us. I'm like, everyone else thinks we're wankers. They're like, no. One German guy did say, no, you're not horrible. He says, but you're a little bit ignorant. But other than that, you're all right. And it was like, yeah, that's probably true, to be fair. Not me personally. Terry, please clip Don. That's what KJ does. That's what although KJ sleeps.
Me up.
Although KJ is sleeping right now.
A lot of people are surprised this season, bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah, KJ's in bed though. He said he's got a cold, but his wife went home today, and we just think he's very sad. I think that's what it is.
Bless him.
Yeah. We'll be waking him up in a minute because we're playing a great game tonight called Cage. So obviously the couple of boys with us are from uni, and we've been playing some of their card games. They're great fun, man. They're great fun. I'm telling you now. Why is CB the people? This is why CB is the people's champions. Big up, educate them, is what Eddie says here.
This CB guy,
you got the
no. This CB guy wants to go to war for Chilwell. You know, he's an advocate for Gallagher's banner, and on top of that, he wants Upamecano at Chelsea, bro. What is this? No. I'm not hearing this.
This is what you call a smear campaign. For starters, what it is with the Ben Chilwell situation.
It's a French bias. That's what it is.
Anyone that has VVS, that's won VVS for me, I'm going to back you 100%. I don't care you won the big years as well. You only have 2 of them. You know, there's all these clubs here in the panel. Only Terry can really chat to me and tell me, oh yeah, he's won the big years. So let's have some respect for Chilwell in that sense.
3, 1, 2, 3.
You've seen Ashley Cole, but it's Chilwell that you would ride out for, yeah?
No, but I would vice versa as well because he's won the biggest. As for the Gallagher banner, at the end of the day, for me, how I looked at it is anyone that gets a banner, I'm going to root for them. I'm Chelsea at the end of the day. You know, the likes of Kante's getting a permanent banner. Thiago Silva got one. I'm happy. As a fan base, if an academy player's got a damn banner, I wish in an ideal world it was after the Champions League, the Loftus Cheeks, the Hudson-Odoi, Mounts, all of that got one together. But everyone if an academy Cobham player gets a banner, Why would we slander that? I should be happy for that's a dream for all the players in the academy.
Kante didn't get a banner, by the way.
As for Upamecano, he's getting a permanent one. As for Upamecano, he's better than Disasi. He's better than Chalobah. Like this is the thing with this fan base. You suggest players to these guys, and they're like, "Oh God, no!" And it's better than everything we got and what we're linked to. You're telling me right now, Upamecano wouldn't be our best centre back. So with Delit, and these guys are telling me, "No, Delit is dead. We got Tottenham. We don't need Delit. He don't fit our system." That's the new word now. You don't fit our system. A system you don't even know what it is.
Bro,
But, yeah.
Upamecano is the guy that has a bozo moment every every 2.5 games. Out of 5 games, the guy has a bozo moment, bro.
And where's the bozo moment in the Euros? Because he's been
Allow it,
quality.
man. He's got
He's been
Saliba
an
over his hands right now. That's what it is.
He's been an anchor there for defense as usual.
Guys, I want to finish these super chats and move on to the Arsenal section. We've got the quiz coming up, people, so get yourself signed up to quiz. And there is a super chat that was on the one from Chike actually about the media. He wants to challenge Colleen to the quiz. So Colleen, you're doing the first football quiz.
Oh, that's
Your
an easy
knowledge is
win
going to
for
be
the guy,
put
man.
to the test.
He's winning some money then. He'll be winning some money.
The way Rory, the way you go at Colleen, do you remember when you were in the playground at school and you would like the little boys would hit the little girls that they kind of fancied? There's a little thing here, Roy. There's
Nah,
a
you
little
know
thing.
what? It's because
always
he
digging
just
her
chats
out.
so much shit in my mentions on Twitter. It just rattles me, man.
Some Chelsea fans are still stuck in the Roman era. Some eat Blueco PR like a buffet. Let me say this. Don't have any expectations on signings or anything. You know how to run. Why get mad? I mean, you've got to have expectations, though, when your club are spending billions of pounds. Like, you have to, man. Colleen, do you need someone to wash up?
I think it's in reference to a tweet I made. Well, a tweet that I saw where this girl was on a date. No, this guy was on a date, and he said, "Is it weird that this girl's asked me to come over to her garden and to help pluck her weeds?" And no euphemism, literally go into her garden and pluck her weeds. And it was very wholesome. I was like, "Do you know what? You have a date where I could get a guy to come over and do any chores for me. So if you want to come wash up, anytime, mate. Anytime. Just get on the flight to Colombia." And
and as we all know on the terrace, as the uglier you are, the more chance you have with Colleen. She loves an ugly geezer. She loves an ugly geezer. You know what I mean?
I'm not having this. I'm not having this. I'm not having this, mate. I'm not having this. Gary Neville was a fine specimen, and I've been he's a fine specimen.
She fancies Gary Neville and Unai Emery.
You fancy Gary Neville?
Absolutely. I can do Seamus Miller. He's a very. The other day when I saw him on ITV, I was like, he's looking good, nice and handsome.
That's so shameless.
On Arsenal, Colleen, the reports are that you're very, very, very close to signing Riccardo Calafiori. We know what a great season he's had in Serie A. Excellent Euros, probably barring the own goal for Italy. One of the sort of shining lights for them who performed really poorly. You've beaten Juve, you've beaten Chelsea to his signature that were chasing him. £45 million is reportedly the price you're going to pay. How excited are you about this young Italian joining your ranks next season?
Well, to be honest with you, I'm a bit surprised, a little bit, because it looks like Kibio will be on the way out for him to come in, and I guess maybe surprise is the wrong words, but Arteta's not really joking about when he says, we need to have like 10 out of 10 like superstars in every position. Doesn't matter if it's a goalkeeper, defender, anyone can come in and out for whomever, and it's it's just great to see. I mean, listen, I can't complain, and also he just adds to the ranks that we have the most beautiful squads in the Premier League, if I do say so myself, manager included. But I think it's a really good statement, not just for the way that we want to play, whether he can come in playing at the left back or as a centre back, which I think does provide some nice competition because he's a really top quality player. So no one's guaranteed a starting place, maybe bar one or two, you could say. And that's exactly what I want to see. And listen, we've been challenging for the title 2 seasons in a row now, and you just need to be perfect to even try and pip City to the post, as Liverpool fans will know. So I can't complain. I'm a happy girl. This is why I'm saying I'm not even concerning myself with Chelsea's business. Who cares? Who cares about what they're up to? So it's good stuff. But I think a lot of Arsenal fans will now be looking, saying, okay, we really, really need to address another attacking player coming in. I think a lot of Arsenal fans are looking at, if Bukayo Saka gets injured, and also some are unconvinced about whether Kai can lead the line or whether Gabriel Jesus really can get any sort of form going or go a season without an injury. So I think that's where a lot of Arsenal fans are looking at, but I can't complain about him coming in.
Yeah, how about yourself, Gav? As a fellow Gooner, I mean, and I know you follow Serie A quite closely, so you're probably someone that's got a bit more insight and have watched him. Because a lot of people, I've seen a few people say this is just like Euros hype, but there's been a lot of talk about Calafiori before the Euros begun, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean, like, well, I do follow a bit of Serie A. Bundesliga is more my actual bag. But I have seen a bit of Calafiori. I'm quite excited by it, but as Colleen said, we need to be thinking about forward line. I think defensively, adding to what we've already got is a great thing because our defense is pretty strong as it is anyway. Midfield, we're pretty sorted out there as well. Could probably do with a proper DM. Because Rice isn't going to be doing that job for Arsenal going forwards. We know that. Can Thomas Partey play more than 10 games a season? So we need someone who is actually astute and is possible to play there. Maybe we start thinking about putting, one of our more defensive-minded players a bit further field, further up front. Because, if we're looking at starting lineup and our strongest starting lineup, then does Timber start? And then if Timber starts, are we playing in left back or right back? If we're playing in right back, then where's Ben White go? Because he's not going to be going centre half. So then are we now thinking about his ball playing ability and then play him in a more defensive midfield position? Who knows? I think that's where we really need to focus. Calafiori, though, I like the idea of him coming. Whether we play, so I don't know whether he's going to play centre half or left back. And
he's going to play left back.
Yeah,
1,000,000%.
I would prefer it if he did. And then what are we going to do in terms of inversion? Because we're having like that inverted player at the back. So I'm not sure what we're going to be doing. But defensively, I'm not concerned with Arsenal. I really am not. And it is just making sure, because even scoring goals, we're scoring a lot of goals. But I would like someone to come in, play through the middle and add to the goals. Because, like, for instance, like when City signed Haaland, everyone's like, oh, yeah, he scored 30 plus goals in the Premier League. They actually scored less goals that season than they did the season before when they didn't have an out-and-out striker. So it wasn't a case of buying a 30-plus striker. What they had done is just distributed the goals elsewhere or went through one head. So this time I would like to see Arsenal come in, like get someone to play through the middle and add 20 goals to our season. And if we do that, then I'm not saying we're going to win the league, but it'll put us in a much better position than we have been over the last couple of years.
I think someone like Luis Openda from Leipzig would be a great signing. Can play out wide,
like
blistering pace. Like Arteta loves this versatility. I think he's absolutely brilliant. Tottenham are now being linked with Sky Sports to put it out. Him in an Arsenal shirt. I think can play. I think he's probably a better striker than Havertz. Can play both wing. Got Champions League experience. He had a couple of great games against City in the last few years. Plus, he's done it in 2 leagues now, where he got 31 GA in 34 games. He's available for £70 million. Now, in this day and age, £70 million is not a huge amount of money for a signing for a guy that's just got 21 league goals and done 20 plus GA for 2 seasons in a row. I'm amazed. Like Liverpool, Arsenal, even Chelsea aren't looking at him.
Yeah, his relationship with Sesko last year was brilliant. And I'll tell you what, I feel sorry for Sesko because this Euros, it didn't give him a chance to show off what he can actually do. And we get in major tournaments, we see it go one of 2 ways, don't we? We see the players that are always ranked to do X, Y, Z, and they come in and stink out the place. And there's players that come from, mild obscurity. They show off for 3, 4, maybe even 5 games in the competition, and their price tag goes up, and they go to a bigger club, and they stink out that club. So but yeah, Sesko. If Arsenal did sign him, I'd be really happy with that. But yeah, Openda. Yeah, I do like him.
Like all Twitter's going berserk over Eze at the moment.
Eze, yeah, but then that's just another person challenging for a position on the left. I feel like a decent striker coming in is almost guaranteed to get a starting position. You know, because Jesus ain't that guy. When he first the season when we signed him, the preseason, you should never get gassed about preseason. I'm aware of that, but that preseason and the first 15 games or so, I was like, boy. And to be honest, a lot of Arsenal fans were, and even rival fans were looking at it, going, "Man, he might be the guy." Yes, his injuries, I understand that, but last season he stunk out the place. He tried to do too hard, tried to work too hard, tried to do too much by himself, and I think you get found out very easily, very quickly. But Eze, I would love Eze to sign. I think it would be a great signing. And maybe if that was to happen, we probably would see Martinelli play through the middle, because I know a lot of Arsenal fans like the idea of him playing through the middle. So I'm not sure.
What you said there about players delivering and some not, what I find really interesting is, if a player performs well at the Euros and you rave about them, people say you can't rate someone off of one international tournament. When a player that you like as a stinker, the same people say, "See, I told you he's rubbish." I find it such an interesting concept, really, that we pick and choose that logic. But I think Arsenal definitely need to improve their front line. I did see a rumor that's come out of Spain. I think we've learned with a lot of these current deals that are going on with Arsenal and United to not ignore the press in other countries. There's talk that you might go back in for Raphinha, who you tried to sign a couple of years ago. I mean, he's 27, good experience in the Premier League and the Liga Champions League. How about a player like him coming in for what could be at sort of 25, 30 million pound deal at this stage?
Not for me. Not for me. I think that's no, I don't like it. As simple as that. I'm not going to try and make out like any excuse or why I don't like it. Just straight up, I don't like the idea of that. I feel like there's money that could be spent better elsewhere than getting someone.
£30 million for a guy that's got Champions League experience gives you serious cover for Bukayo Saka. Like, you don't need a striker. I don't know how many more times he's got 120 goals last season. You don't need a striker. You just need better depth. And if Bukayo Saka gets an injury and Reece Nelson comes in, it's curtains. If Raphinha is there, it's a different ballgame.
I look at last season when Saka did have mild injuries and stuff, and we played Martinelli out on the right, and he looked I felt he looked more effective on the right hand side. And maybe it's because I'm a bit old school with that. I like my wingers having the foot of the wing that they play on, you know. And this is one thing that I'm really enjoying about Saka at the moment. I know we're talking about if he gets injured or anything. But like, for instance, in the Euros, we saw him running down the on the right wing and crossing the ball with his right foot. Everyone's expecting him to cut inside. And it's something that he's been speaking about quite openly, about getting making his right foot stronger. He's been saying that. So I have no issue with that happening, and then play Trossard on the left, because when Trossard when he has come in, he's done a great job on the left hand side. So if we're looking for cover for someone like Saka, historically, I said Jarrod Bowen, but then the price of him now that is an England international, West Ham have been doing bits, obviously not so much last season. You know, his price tag is going to be obscene, because we probably could have picked him up for 25, 30 mil. But now, if you want him, you're probably looking at 60 plus, maybe. And he's someone as well that you could play through the middle if necessary as well. I like that idea. But yeah, I feel like Raphinha, if he was to go somewhere, he would want to go somewhere and start week in, week out. He's not going to get that at Arsenal.
Another name that's been linked to Arsenal in the past, Pedro Neto. I'm seeing stories online that Spurs now may be in for him, Kate. I mean, how good a signing would that be for sort of Big Angie's revolution?
I love him. I think he's a magnificent player, but he's just so injury prone. I mean, I went through his stats the other day on my channel, and it's just unbelievable the amount of football he's missed. After watching the Euros at the weekend, I would love for us to go out and sign Tony and Eze. For me, those two walk into the team and make us so much better, particularly sort of attacking wise, which is where we was so poor last season. As much as, like I say, as I rate Neto, I just think it's too much of a risk. He literally has had the most horrific injuries, and they've played his whole career. So I think for the money you're going to pay for him, it's too much of a risk for me. I don't know if Henry agrees, but he's a brilliant player, but yeah, not for me.
He's fantastic, but it's £65 million. That's a big chunk of our budget gone for a guy that he misses 16 Premier League games a season. We'd fit in well with Benton Core because he misses a lot of games as well.
Share the spoils.
In general, I don't think we're going to sign Eze. I think we're going to get Desiree Doué. I think Eze's coming in to be a wide player because the problem we've got is we've got more 8s than London Liverpool straight on a Friday night, but we've got no 6s. Right, we got flipping so many 8s, it's unreal. We've got Bergvall and Benson Core and Sarr and Eze, if he comes in there, no one's going to take Maddison's spot, so he's coming in to be a wide player. Now, Desiree Doué's had one season in France, and he's going to the Olympics with Thierry Henry, but I don't know, like, I'm thinking, mate, what are we, like, yeah, okay, we brought in a fantastic youngster in Gray, but just go and get Tony. He's there. He's got a year left on his contract. He's homegrown. We've got a homegrown problem. We create so many chances. He'd get 20 league goals a season in that Tottenham team easily. The amount of chances Richarlison wastes, but I can see him going to Liverpool. If I'm honest, I think what's
Ivan Toney.
Yeah, what's happening with Cody Gakpo? He wants to play down the middle. I don't know if he's going to be
like
there.
Nunes, Henry. He wants to work with Nunes.
Yeah, but you can't have just one striker though. If Cody Gakpo and Diaz both go, they got Salah, Nunes. And
I think one of them will go. I don't think Liverpool will let both, especially after the tournament Gakpo's just had. I think he'll go in there and back his chance to.
He wants to play. He wants to play striker for Liverpool. Then they're not going to move. I mean, Nunes is having a great Copa America as well, so it's great for them.
True.
But Tony's it's £45 million. Like,
I really want him at Chelsea. I've been a big fan for 2-3 years now. I think he's one of the best strikers, comfortably a top 3 striker in the league. And it's particularly with Spurs, you've just lost Harry Kane. If you want someone to sort of bring what Harry Kane does, not to the absolutely unbelievable levels, but if you want someone who can hold up the ball,
it's a like change.
Good in the air, dead ball expert, like, you can't really look any further than Ivan Toney. And he's done it in the Premier League. He scored 20 goals the season before he got banned.
Yeah, I'm amazed that even.
I think it's a character problem with him, though. I think clubs rate him as a player.
I just think that's
no. I'm not saying it's true or false or anything like that. But I just think the clubs rate him. But I just think some of the stuff has come out about him saying, "Oh, I want to play for a really big club. Like, I'm ready for the step up. Oh, fuck Brentford. Blah blah blah." I don't think clubs are looking at that. I'm just a bit like, especially like, I'm not sure how culture focused Ange is, because obviously we know Arteta, like, if someone's not the right character, he won't even look twice at you. But I think a lot of clubs are looking at Tony and thinking he's a good player, he backs himself and he should. But is the character really there? Like, with all due respect to Spurs, he can be saying fuck Spurs in a couple of years if like Real Madrid or Bayern Munich or Man City or someone looking at him. So I think it's
West Ham, anyone. Spurs, isn't it?
Oh, he's such a bitch.
I don't think Tony does have an attitude problem. I've said
I think
he really doesn't have an attitude problem.
No, I don't think he does. I think do you know what? I think where that came from. I'm going to blame a small percentage of Arsenal fans. When you guys are heavily linked with him, he was the best thing since sliced bread. And then when the links died down, certain people online had to create a narrative as to why you were walking away. And that's where I saw it stem from. I know there was the F Brentford thing, but the man was just trying to pull. And every single man in the world has had a couple of sherbets and has acted a little bit silly around the fairer sex. Every single man on God's green earth has done that.
You don't even need to have a couple of sherbets.
And for me, my biggest, if I was his manager, I wouldn't even be saying don't do that. My biggest thing would be, which one of your friends filmed that and sold it?
That's don't get caught.
Footballers probably saying, not just footballers, people, every single one of you men in here. I'm not going to say it to the ladies because lovely, respectful, beautiful ladies. But every single one of you geezers has been in a pub with your mates and said a madness, having a laugh, having a joke. It's the idiot friend who filmed it and sold it to a newspaper. That is who I've got the problem with. And I'd be saying to Tony, you've got to cut that knobhead out of your life. But other than that, Go have a little bit of fun. I don't think there's anything wrong. You watch Ivan Toney with the England players in interviews the way he is. There isn't even, look, he's a stunning looking geezer, I think, as well, but there isn't, he's a Premier League footballer who's rich. There isn't an ounce of arrogance about him, in my opinion. He backs his ability. There's never been a single story of bad behavior, drunkenness, lateness. Yes, there was the gambling situation, but this guy was gambling on his own team to win. I don't necessarily think that's that bad in terms of morally.
Terry is one of the most humble people you'll ever meet. His family are brilliant. He's brilliant. Honestly, like he's one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. It's just, as you mentioned it before, the media, the way they want to spin things, to suit narratives. That's what happens.
I just think the English media just hate confidence. I have no idea why. Because you see the same thing with Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham's a brilliant player. He backs himself, and he's got every.
I tell you why they do.
The media
But I tell you why, Roy. And I'll tell you why, Roy. Most journalists, I'm not all. Most journalists were the geeky. They were the. Think of the in-betweeners. They were the Wills of this world. They were Will from the in-betweeners growing up, right? So they're geeks. They're a little bit nerdy. They're socially quite a little bit awkward, and they see a confident man. And there's almost like I feel like they regress back to being a child going, oh, I didn't get picked for the football team. And I think that's what it is. I think they're geeks. I think they're the geeks, but because they kind of run the newspapers, they sort of attack people that are confident. That's all I think it is, because again, with Jude Bellingham, I hear Jude Bellingham speak, and he is one of the most articulate, level-headed young men I've ever seen in football. How he gets any stick is beyond me. It is absolutely beyond me that people give him stick. It's absolutely crazy. Before we move on to the quiz, you're one of them, Terry. What? Me? When have you ever heard me? The only time I have an issue with arrogance is when you're arrogant and don't deliver. Because it's like you've got to have if you're going to give it the big one, you've got to deliver. I ain't got a problem with arrogance. But state me a situation where I've stated that. Show me. Prove it. You mug, Ashley. I bet you can't. Prove it, and I'll pay your mortgage for a year. Don't delete your account. You help. No, you're misfiring here. How am I misfiring? How? What have I said that's wrong? Explain. Maybe there's a few geeks in the maybe there's a few geeks in the comment section feeling a bit hurt right now. Sorry if it hurt you. Sorry now. Yeah, exactly. CK. I don't know what Ashley was on about. What he was on about at all. It was a joke. Oh, it was a joke. Sorry, Ashley. So, all right, Ashley. I apologize, mate. I apologize. I was joking too. But right. I wanted to say something. I lost my mind. We're going to speak about you. I want to speak about Ugarte for a minute. Man United close to getting Xerxes. We're talking about the lit deal, and big reports that United are going to put in another bid for Ugarte, and that deal was going to get done. It was linked to a lot of the Premier League clubs a few years ago. What are we saying, Colleen? Good bit of business for Man United to strengthen up their midfield?
So with United, I think they are capable of doing good business, and I do think this is potential good business. But for me and United, that's not the problem. I think the problem has been for a while is the culture of the club and trying to get the best out of these players that you are bringing in. So for me, United can bring in 10 superstars if they wanted to. We need to see real systemic change within that club, and now you've got some new owners coming in working alongside the Glazers, and Ten Hag is now bringing in Van Nistelrooy and some other coaching staff coming in. We might start to see that, but for me it just all feels a bit more of the same. It just feels like a bit more of the same. So I can't begrudge United for strengthening, because I do think it does strengthen them, and I would just like to see some real progress culturally and internally to get the best out of these players, because I always say since Fergie left, what player, maybe barring one, has come in and United have nurtured and has performed for 2 or 3 years and performed better than the club they were previously at, or who they've nurtured into a top class talent? We just don't see it. So for me, my take on United is a little bit different. It's not just about who's coming in. It's about how United can keep that culture and trying to springboard on to be back to the club that they used to be. So for me, the business they do doesn't necessarily worry me.
could not agree more with you. I think like, I'm quite happy with the players that we're linked to, and I spoke about it a lot of our transfer shows about how I'm more intrigued about how we sign them, what we pay them, the prices that they go for. I'm looking more at the people they've brought in to run the club. I'm very impressed with that structure that's been built. I like our 2 new assistant coaches. We've basically got rid of Ten Hag's people, brought in our own. There is obviously this sort of Dutch feel to it, and I kind of get if you're going to now stick behind Ten Hag and try and implement a style of football that has a real core base within the Netherlands, it makes sense to bring in the individuals that we are. So that element looks pretty good. But of course, with Man United, I'm keeping my energy the same for them as I am for Chelsea. I'm being as objective as possible and keeping my powder dry, because although we're keeping the same manager, there's so many changes that are going on that just haven't happened in the last decade. We can't sit there and go, it's absolutely going to cook and we're going to be amazing. But I also think it's slightly premature to write off anything Man United are doing, because it is a brand new dawn. It's a completely new situation for us. I like a lot of the players we're linked to, but I'm being very conscious to not get overly excited about anything and just, wait for preseason games to start to see how the team is playing. Are we moving the ball different? Is it a different formation? Who we actually sign and land by the end of the window as well. But the positive thing for me is the structure appears to be so much better. We actually have, when you actually say this out loud, it sounds stupid, but for the first time in a decade, we don't have accountants, marketing experts, and bankers making the football decisions at the club. And I just don't. What I will say is, I don't see how in the medium to short to medium term, we don't improve with football decision makers running the club versus unqualified bankers and accountants. That's the area that I'm really positive about, if that makes sense. Because I think any business in any industry would, if you're in a restaurant, but you had your chef was actually an accountant and the manager was actually a cleaner, and you were struggling, and you sacked them both, and you went and got a top level general manager in and a top level chef, it would be, you wouldn't be crazy to think that the restaurant could start to turn around. And that's sort of how I look at it at the moment. But yeah, I like Ugarte. I think it's a good bit of business, but my feet are so firmly on the ground. No crazy predictions, not getting excited, just going to sit there patiently and let everybody else do the talking, I suppose.
I don't know that much about him, Terry. Is he better than like a Zubimendi type player?
No,
He's different profile to Zubimendi. He's more of like a tough tackling, ball winning number 6. Obviously, Zubimendi's more sit back, dictate the tempo, similar to like Rodri. And obviously, Ugarte is more like Declan Rice, where he's like the defensive maestro, tough tackling, get stuck in. Not the best technician, because I've watched a few games with him. He's not the best technician, but again, he can get the ball,
He's very
keep
young.
it ticking.
Very young.
Yeah, and
Very
hold it down
young.
defensively. Also, yeah, he is very, very young. Like, he's only like probably 22, 23. So
23.
maybe him and Kobbie Mainoo midfield too. That could blossom into a fantastic pair, because I think their profiles do dovetail well. Ugarte doing all the dirty work and Mainoo just getting the ball, keeping it ticking, moving it forward, carrying it up the pitch, like we've seen him doing at the Euros. So could be a good pair.
Cool.
I agree. I agree. It certainly could be. Viewers, I'd love to get your views, love to get your opinions on that in the comments section below. This here says number of trophies in Arsenal's best period in 15 years versus, equals the number of trophies in Chelsea's worst period in 15 years.
Oh, let's be.
It's a very, very good point, and it's factual information.
How is it factual information? Like, what is this Chelsea's worst period in 15 years? Are we using it as a 15-year? Are we using it as
not any worse than we've just been in the last 15 years?
Are we using it as a 15-year window? Because if so,
it's a 15-year period. So
you're having a bad year. You know, if it's
never gone back-to-back seasons without a trophy. Therefore, this is our worst period. Yeah, this is your best period, because you're finally not finishing 8th anymore.
Well, it's not our best period, though, is it? It's not our best period. We had two.
How much better now? I've just got you 28 league wins. You've never been better since 2004.
We've had 2 good seasons. We've had 2
good
seasons.
This is your best period in 15 years, unless you've got a period in the last 15 years where you've been better.
That's such a lame argument, though, isn't it? Best period of 50 years versus 15.
Don't blame me. I'm just messing. I'm just saying what the super chat says.
Well, fair play to contributing.
15 years.
Well done, that person, for contributing to the show with such a lame thing to say. Well done.
Listen, facts don't care about feelings, unfortunately.
It's not a feeling. It's not. Oh my lord. Oh. Anyway, I've got to run away anyway.
All right, mate. All right, mate. Good luck with that. Speak to you soon. This
Appreciate
here, cheers, mate. This is Terry. Unfortunately for the racists, it only takes one moment. We could do amazing all the way to the final, and then one bad moment, and it'll all come out the woodwork. No, listen, I agree. That's why what Rio said didn't offend me. I don't think it offends any level-headed normal person in any capacity. How finished are Brazil as a footballing nation? Right now, they are. I mean, they've got a lot of work to do. I think they've got. Do you know what? They probably can't do this, right? And I'm talking football. I think they've got to ban their young players from moving to Europe until they're about 22, 20. I almost feel like this element of are Brazilian kids still playing in the street and on the beach in their bare feet? And I don't mean to sound disrespectful in any way, but I always felt watching them as kids, they grew up learning to play football in that sort of way, and the flair and the quality was there. It feels like it's been like coached out of them from a young age. You know, a lot of the best, when I was a kid, I remember listening to one of my cousins that played a high level of football said that like, England was one of the only nations that used to have like Sunday league football for kids. A lot of other countries just let kids play, and we were one of the worst technically versus them. So they need to look at it. It's crazy. Klopp is being
Did any of you see Brazil?
Oh, Brazil was horrid.
Awful, absolutely.
Hendrick up front, right? But good, you know, he's an up and coming good player, whatever. Leading the line for Brazil. He played most of the game, made one pass the entire game.
And that was a kickoff pass as well.
Yeah, it was the kickoff. It was an awful watch. Awful.
They had to take Richarlison, man. Brazil should have taken Richarlison to the World Cup. I know people say it's crap, but for Brazil, Richarlison's a good player, and he's done well for them in tournaments. He's won the Copa America. He was good at the World Cup. Just a shame the team let Neymar down.
He scored in the Copa America final as well against Peru.
Exactly. Like, they should have taken Richarlison, or I'm not sure if Jesus is even fit to go, but one of those two had to be on that plane. You cannot.
That tournament was wild, though. You got like James Rodriguez, 34, balling out.
Yeah.
Yeah, James Rodriguez he's been ridiculous.
Yeah.
Colombia are in fantastic form. They've not lost in like 25 matches.
I don't think they're going to win against Uruguay, though.
I think they do. I think Colombia.
Guys, just out of interest of time, let me try and get through these super chats. We've got to do this quiz. Sorry. Can we please have a top 6 show of Don, Kate, George, Tom Little, Igal, Have Hope, Staffy? That's far too many people for one show.
Very good panel.
We'd never get through a single subject, especially with Don would talk for the first 45 minutes by himself. So it would take a while, but we'll be definitely getting those people on. By the way, we're taking little Tom back to the gym tomorrow for his second ever gym session, which should be fun. He couldn't walk for 2 days. Relax, chat, and your time is coming, Don and Roy, for your crimes. Why would Barca sell Raphinha for 30 million after he managed? I'm only going by what the Barca press is saying. So you're telling me Arsenal fans are the reason why clubs are moving away from Tony? No, Matt, you're doing too much here. I'm saying the rationale that it's because he's got a bad attitude is wrong. There may be footballing reasons why clubs are moving away that we as mere fans are not noticing, but I don't believe it's because he's got a stinky bad attitude as an individual, because no one's able to cite me any examples of this bad attitude and bad behavior. If it's been leaked by internals to agents, it'd be in the press, and it isn't. 6 league titles, 6 relegations, biggest club in London. What Sadiq says here.
Yes,
now look,
sir.
it's time for the
London.
It's time for the quiz now, people. It's time for the quiz, and I've got to change the backgrounds. I've got to do this all manually, but there we go. And it's going to be Colleen that goes up first. So Colleen, we're gonna go into the way it works. You have to wait for other people to join, but we're going to do the one that's free to play to begin with. We've got 6 people currently waiting in there. If you haven't signed up yet, go and get it done. There's 7 now, including me, as you can see. It's free to enter, and there are little prizes to win. And
wait, Terry, what's on the panel have to sign up as well?
Yeah, if you go and sign up, that'd be great, mate. Yeah, click on the link below, get yourself an account ready. You don't need to, because we're going to do it on my screen, but once we get 15 people in there, that is going to start. Colleen, I'll be reading the questions out to you. You're going to be answering them, and we're going to test your knowledge versus the rest of the audience. Yeah, 0 pressure whatsoever for you. I'm going to mute but until we get everybody in, because we're still waiting on individuals. How are you enjoying Colombia? You had a good time out there?
So, it's just like you said, you know, once you start living somewhere for a bit longer, it's not so much, it's less romanticizing of things. But I have to say, if you are British and do want to come to South America or Colombia, it's like being in America. They love listening to our accents when you are speaking in English. So that is a plus. That is a plus. But it's just as wild, as crazy as you could think it could be. But it's great.
How is your Spanish coming along?
Oh, fine. But I live on the coast now. I used to live in Bogota, so any Colombians watching will know that Rolos speak very neutral, and Paisas are very neutral, but Costeños and Costeñas, they speak a whole different level of Spanish. They're like the Geordies of the UK. Geordies are Scottish people of Colombia here. So, but definitely,
I love how,
everyone should
I love
come.
how you're saying Colombia as well. You're saying it authentic.
Oh yeah, well, I can't go. These costeños, these. Of course, I have to say it properly. Of course.
I've always wondered that about other languages, because when people speak English, we don't teach people English with an accent, do we? That's why you can tell a French person speaking English, you can tell a Spanish person speaking English, but obviously when you speak Spanish, I suppose you've got to learn the accents as much as anything else.
Yeah, no, 100%. Especially in South America, there's a plethora of different of accents as well. And walking around speaking Spanish with a British accent, it sounds awful. It sounds, you might have tried. It's like, como estas, buenos dias, una cerveza, por favor. It sounds awful. Awful.
Sounds like you're in Benidorm when you do it that way.
Exactly.
And how long have you been there now? About a year?
Yeah, 1 year. 1 year.
Wow.
Yeah, I do miss the cold
Wow.
though. It's about 35 degrees here on the coast every day. It's a bit too much for me, personally.
But that's just the thing. The people don't realize this. When you're working in it and you're going to work and doing it, it's not like you're sitting by a swimming pool like on a holiday every day, chilling. Like you're working, you're traveling, you're busy. I suppose it's very different to a holiday.
Yeah, no, exactly. Don't have a margarita on deck or by the pool every day. That's for sure. But definitely people should come and visit Colombia. It's a really beautiful place. But I'm coming back to London. Everyone keeps asking me, when am I coming back? I'm not living here forever. That's 100%. Get me back to London. I miss a roast dinner. I miss a proper roast dinner. For sure.
It's nice. It's good to listen. It's good to travel though. It's good to broaden your horizons. We're waiting on 2 people to be seated in this quiz. So get yourselves in there if you want to take on Colleen and see if your football knowledge is better. The panelists, you can sign up and join in as well if you want to add yourselves to it, because it all starts. Everybody gets the questions at the same time, so you can't be ahead of anybody. It's all going on at the same time, and then it's the most accurate answers in the quickest time possible wins. And we're going to do a few of these on the show before the end, so get that done. If you haven't hit the like button on the terrace yet, please make sure you're doing it. Quick question, Kate: who's winning tomorrow, Spain or La France?
Spain for me. Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, I think Spain. I think they're the only team in the Euros who have played to their potential, really. I don't think anyone else has stood out quite as much as they do. But we all know France are a bit like England, and they could well, shit house their way through.
Sorry to interject. The quiz is about to start. We're full now. So in 3, 2, 1, I'm going to start reading these questions out. Which jersey number did David Beckham famously wear on his England shirt?
7. 23.
Ooh.
My answer hasn't come in yet.
Be all over that.
Mine ain't loading. Here we go. Number 7. It was number 7. There we go. 23 was his first shirt number.
Right. I'm not confident at all.
Okay, so Tom Little is top. Tom Little's top right now. Right. Which England player missed the first penalty in Euro 2004 quarterfinal shootout?
Was it Lampard? Was it Beckham or Lampard? I don't know. I can't remember.
It was David Beckham. I think it went over the bar. I think it was
penalty. No chance.
Oh yeah, because people went off to try and kill him. I remember the effigies and stuff. People went
they were onto him.
Yes, I remember.
Right, next question coming up here. Who's still sitting top? Oh. Right, number 3. Which team did Tottenham play and beat in the 1991 FA Cup final? I know the answer to this one too.
I don't know. Forest.
Arsenal.
Oh.
Did you?
Oh. The Arsenal was a
No.
semi-final.
Oh no,
Arsenal
shit!
was
Yeah,
a-
it was.
Arsenal was a semi-final. It was the Gaza free kick. He's
Yeah,
gonna.
it was, sorry,
Thank
yeah.
God.
He's gonna have a strike.
Yeah.
It was. He's gonna have a strike. He is. You know. I remember that commentary like it was yesterday.
What a helmet.
Oh, Tom Little. Oh, you're in third place now, though. You're in. I think we're in third. What was the original name of Arsenal FC when it was founded?
Oh, Dial Square.
What?
I'm pretty sure that was our first one. Yeah, Dial Square.
Oh, time's ticking, you know.
Dial.
Woolwich.
I thought it was
No,
Woolwich
we were-
Arsenal.
We Woolwich after. We had a dodgy name to begin with. See?
Oh, wow.
I got the answer again on it.
Wow, fair
Okay,
play.
You can now answer the questions. You can now answer the questions. I have done my share. So everyone,
Very
join in.
which-
interesting.
Which
Yay,
team knocked
yay.
England out of the 2002 World Cup?
Was it France?
Brazil.
That was Brazil.
It was Brazil.
Or who knocked us out in 2004?
Portugal.
the
was
Euros,
out,
bruv.
wasn't it?
That-
Yeah,
that-
was it?
that-
Yeah, did
that-
France knock us out the Euros?
No, Portugal did, I swear.
I thought that was 2006.
No, 2004 was
Boom.
defo Portugal. It was that game we went to penalties, didn't it?
You won. You won a prize there, though. You came in. You smashed it. There we go. And who else won their prizes there? So look, we're gonna go back to the lobby here. I'm gonna change the username so that we know we know who we are. Actually, it's easier. We're just gonna be TFT, right? It's gonna make it a little bit easier. So let's do. Should we do Legends or should we do Premier League? We'll do Legends because people are in that, right? We'll go into this. It's $3 to play, £10 prize pool. We only need 4 of you in this. 2 people are seated. And we're going to do Premier League questions here. And I'm going to go to Roy on this one. We're doing this one with you, Roy.
Oh,
Once we fill
Christ.
these seats up. Once we fill
No
these
pressure.
seats up.
No pressure. Mate.
I don't do
Have you
pressure.
watched more than
I'm a
5? Have you
diamond.
watched more than 5 Premier League games, Roy, in your time?
I had,
Have you
I,
watched
you know what?
more?
I actually did last season. I watched more than 5 games.
Okay. Oh, well done.
Here
well
we
done,
go.
mate.
Here
I'm
we
getting,
go,
I'm
Roy.
getting all the questions right. Don't worry about that, man.
So which colour were Chelsea's away kits
White.
during the 2012 Champions League campaign?
White, white, white.
Off the mark as well.
Oh,
If
no.
this is wrong, I might just jump off stream.
He's
I
in
wanted
the
to say
zone,
yellow.
right? He's so
I wanted to say yellow, but
I thought it was white. We were white
oh,
against
it's black.
Barcelona. Oh, no.
Chelsea fan
Ooh.
as well. Get out. Get out of here.
Wow,
Get
get
out of
out.
I thought awake it was. Oh, that is
Okay,
poor.
here we go.
Oh,
Who
I'm
did
gonna be getting
Arsenal
cooked in the
trade
comments
to
as well.
Barcelona? Who did Arsenal trade to Barcelona in 2027?
Who did- oh,
Who they
No
get
one.
in place?
no one.
No one. That's the one of the answers. Yeah. There we go. Imagine getting that one wrong.
Oh,
We're
I'm
young-
going to be getting so cooked in the comments.
Oh yes, you are. Right, number 3 is on its way. But you got one right there. Okay, so that's just should
Nah,
shoot
I
you
wanted
up.
all
You're in
5.
third. You're in third place here. You're in third place. So,
I don't do third. I do
which
win it.
Chelsea player scored the opening goal in the 2015 League Cup final?
Terry?
No,
I'm
that
pretty
was
sure it
second.
was
That was
JT.
second.
I'm
Was it the
going with
second
your
one?
first answer.
Costa.
Oh, this is
Boy.
wrong again. I'm going to be. I look
I'm pretty
like
sure
a-
it was Costa.
I thought it was Terry the first one.
It was against us, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, you're
It was
probably-
John
no,
Terry.
you're right,
It was
you're
John
right.
Terry. It was John
Thank
Terry.
God.
I think Costa
Go
scored the
with your-
second one.
Go with your gut. You could. Oh, you've gone to second place. You've gone to second. Look at Fats up there.
Oh, facts are gonna
Which
be.
which manager led Arsenal to their first double
Graham?
in
It's gotta be George
1971?
Graham. I don't know any of the other two apart from Wenger.
In
He wasn't around
1971. Okay, in 1971.
I-
Terry
I
Neal.
wasn't,
it's
I wasn't
Bertie
watching
Mee.
Arsenal in
Ryan.
71.
When
When was George Graham
Ah.
Wait, when was George Graham around?
80s and 90s.
In 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
What is
Oh.
the nickname of Tottenham Hotspur Stadium that hosted the 1921 FA Cup
Oh,
final?
Jesus. It can't be the Lane. Is the Wild in that old?
What one of those linked to Tottenham? It's got to be the Lane, surely.
I'll go the Lane.
Oh, Roy, I think you've remember this is Premier League questions, not solely Chelsea. So let's see what you. I think you're going to end up. You got it right, but you were very slow.
As long
when you
as I stay on the
finished.
podium.
But you've
Okay.
come second. You've come
know what,
second.
I don't like coming second, but I'll take it.
Oh,
Jammy.
so well, we're gonna
Jammy.
play again then. We're gonna
Why
play
not?
again then. We're gonna play again. We're gonna play again. And this time I'm gonna go to Kate. Kate's having a go this time. By the way, people, get yourself signed up now. There's a link in our live chat, a link in the comment section below, a link in the description. Get yourself signed up. It's free to. We're gonna be starting now though, Kate. Get yourself ready. Get yourself ready. 3, 2, 1, right. In what year was Chelsea FC founded?
Oh, who gives a shit?
I know this.
2022.
Nah, 1905.
Yeah, I think it's.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Remember, it's Premier League we're doing here. So
I thought it was current Premier League, not fucking 1905.
teams in the Premier League. From which club did Arsenal sign Granit Xhaka?
Oh, shoot.
Washing flag back?
I'm going to say.
A. Boom.
I like that
you got
name.
I'm right by Mönchengladbach. Right by Mönchengladbach,
Oh, look, I'm fourth.
where I'm staying.
Typical
Come
Spurs.
on, Kate. What is the most number of goals Spurs have scored in a single Premier League season?
86, Kate.
I knew that one.
Henry, let Kate answer, please.
Sorry.
Yay!
And try not to talk over so that I can read the question out so Kate don't miss it. I want to make it as fair as possible because people get really anal in the comments about that. Sorry. What shirt number does Trent Alexander wear for Liverpool?
Sugar. 14.
I want to say 66.
I was going to say that. Oh,
go with your gut. Go with your gut. Tom Little smashing this one. He's making Tom. You're paying for the beers tonight, mate. Who scored the decisive penalty for Arsenal in the 2005 shootout final? Who scored the winner?
Perez.
I want to say it was Patrick Vieira. It was Vieira. Yeah. Okay.
Did it go Juventus after that or Inter?
You've had a mare.
Yeah,
Right,
I'm
Henry,
the oldest. My memory's not what it used to be.
Henry, you're up next, my friend. So already 2 people seated. Remember, viewers, we want more of you to sign up. You don't need to play our one. You can do your own ones with each other as well. As soon as 4 people are seated, we go. Are you ready, Henry?
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah, we're going to be starting momentarily. Here we go. Tom Little's in. The game is going to start.
Tom just like give it 5 minutes and then come back.
And then no. Here we go. Right. So, which Liverpool player won the UEFA Champions League goalkeeper of the season in the 2019 campaign?
Becker.
That should be right. Spot on. But you're fourth, though. You're too slow. You'll be quicker.
Oh, come on, mate.
Which Liverpool player has the most appearances for the club?
Jamie Carragher.
Ooh.
I would have went with Jamie as well.
No.
Who the hell is Ian Callaghan?
Your ball knowledge, but your ball knowledge, boys, is terrible. Absolute.
Does anyone know who Ian Callaghan is?
Which Tottenham player won the Man of the Match award?
Oh, no, yeah, Woodgate. It's got to be Woodgate. He scored the winner, surely.
I thought Berbatov got it. All right, it was Woodgate. You got it. The only one who got that right. The only one who got that right. That's going to push you up. Oh, you got top. You got top. Let's listen now. Which Chelsea player has the most international caps whilst at the club?
Lampard.
I reckon that's a stupid guess. I'd have gone with Czech. He was Lampard. Oh, he's still going to be top. Final question. He's still top. You've got to get this right.
Not much in it. If you get this wrong.
In what year did Tottenham last win the first division on our
B.
Yes.
Oh, everyone got it right. Quick way.
Was he quick enough?
Let's see if was he fast enough to stay top. He was. He's won it.
Yeah, never in doubt.
He won it. There we go. And I won $10. Thank you for topping up my account.
Wait, are we not going to do it now? Are we not going to see
we're gonna go
the test?
Do you know what I will? Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do the legends. I'm going to play the legends. I'm going to play the legends game. So come to the legends game.
Pele, Terrence. You should be smashing this.
I should what?
So you're old enough to be watching Pele, so you should be smashing this.
I should be, but it all depends on the questions. Right, my game's starting now, people. My game is beginning. Let's see what happens here. I'm not going to read it out. I'm just going to do it in my head. Here we go. Nationality German. That's easy. There we go. We all got that one right, didn't we? But who was fastest? Who was fastest? Not me, clearly. Right.
Did 1 second. He
Francesco Totti spent his entire career at which club? Rome. He was in Rome, wasn't he? He's in Rome.
Yeah.
There we were.
Could be
Three of us got
Roma,
that right.
but close enough.
Yeah, but that was which city did he spend his career in?
Oh, I thought it was which club. My bad.
He was
Yeah.
fit.
Oh, man, right, third. Right, nice. Right, here we go. Which country did Pele represent Brazil? Okay, I was the fastest. I was the fastest there.
Easy.
I was definitely the fastest there. These
See,
are
my
easy
questions were
ones.
like, someone got full marks.
Quiz, you've got to make this harder for us. You've got to make this harder. Here we go. Right.
Oh, geez.
England.
Oh my
Ah.
God. I got the right shit questions.
Ah, look at this. I mean,
They're
Terry's
asking
just
me about
4 in
fucking
4.
George Graham and
4
Terry getting
in
what country
4.
Terry came from.
4 in 4, but I'm not top though. Look at Fats. He's so fast. Final one. World's most expensive. Oh, only we all got that right. We all got it
Oh,
right.
eventually.
I think Fats has come top. Fats has beat me on this one. Fats has definitely beat me on
He's
this one.
too quick.
He's very quick. Ah, come second, man. That ain't bad though. That ain't bad. I'm happy with that. I'm happy. Let's go back to the what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go back to the. I think that might take us back to the lobby again. You want to have another go, Roy, at the Premier League one?
Yeah, I'm fuming at my last attempt.
Right, Roy. I'm gonna
need
give
to
you another
make
go
up-
on the.
make up for it, mate.
Roy's gonna have another go on the Premier League one here. Roy's got to have another go. He's got to have another go here.
I fucking hate losing. I can't stand losing as well.
Right, here we go. So, oops, it's gonna start, and I haven't got it on my screen.
Oh, come on, don't shaft
3,
me.
2,
here.
1. What number did Patrick Vieira?
4.
4. There we go. Oh, everyone got it right though. Where are you in the table? Bottom.
Oh, Jesus.
Which team lost the 2021 FA Cup?
Chelsea, select it.
Okay, against who, mate? Against who?
I don't want to say. Although,
It's
oh, that was
against-
a painful final, man.
Where you gone? Oh, we're in third place. Oh, Thatch has dropped off top. Tom Little is top. Okay, who was Tottenham's manager during the 2008?
Oh, shit. No, was it Redknapp? Oh, Redknapp. I'm gonna go Redknapp. I don't know if it, I don't know if it was.
No,
though.
one day Ramos. One day
Oh.
Ramos. Oh, mate. Harry didn't win with him. Where you got? Are you going to drop? Oh, you say third. There's no way you're winning now. Again,
Oh.
who was the captain of the winning team in the 2022 World FA Cup final?
Hendo.
Henderson, probably right.
Oh,
You're having a stinker here.
honestly, you don't need to tell me twice.
Which player wore
Eriksen.
the 23
Eriksen.
jersey? Eriksen. Oh, someone got
needs
that
to
wrong though.
absolute
You got
banger.
half a chance here. No, you can't. There's no way you're catching the guy above you.
No. I came third. Oh,
And Fats.
I'm fuming.
Third.
I'm so
Do you want to
annoyed at
have
that.
another go? See if you can actually. Do you want to see if you can win it? I want you to have another. We're going to play again. We're going to see
I
if
want
you
to
win it.
win. So it burns me that I'm losing.
We're going to go
Getting
straight
worse
into the
and
new
worse.
game. All right, here we go, Weather Boy.
Okay, go on.
Which player made the most appearances for Man United
Ooh.
versus Liverpool Liverpool matches?
Skulls? Was it Paul Skulls? Or Giggs?
Giggs.
Oh, shit.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
Surely
God,
it's Giggs.
Giggs.
Somebody
Oh, I
hasn't
don't know
answered yet. Someone hasn't
Surely-
answered yet.
Surely it's Giggs.
Oh, it's got to
I
be
would
Giggs.
think-
Giggsy!
Yeah.
Of course it's
Annoying.
Giggs.
Tom's in the
Oh,
chat as well, by the
forgot
way.
about how long Giggs was there.
Of course it's Giggsy.
easy.
Only one person got that right. Master
Okay, you know
Trivia
what?
is in
That's not terrible.
Who did Chelsea defeat to win their first
Ooh,
UEFA
it
Super
was
Cup?
Madrid. It was Madrid. 100% Madrid.
Madrid.
Yeah.
Surprised
Ooh,
you know
someone's
that.
gone AC Milan.
Year I was born. I know my
Yeah.
heritage, man.
You weren't supporting Chelsea back then. That's for sure.
I
I
laugh
was,
if it
I
were.
was born supporting Chelsea.
It was Real Madrid. You got that one correct.
I need
Depends
to
if-
get it wrong though.
And he did. Oh, you've got
Okay,
second
okay,
now.
okay,
This is anyone's game now. Right. Who scored the winning goal for Liverpool against Tottenham in December 2020?
Firmino? I'm gonna go Firmino. No, yeah, Firmino.
Gone with Firmino.
Oh, I don't know. It could have been Mane though. Oh, I don't know.
I think it was. I want to say Salah. You know,
I think it is Firmino.
Ooh.
Firmino.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember it was a header from a corner.
Firmino. You could go top here. You could go top here. Neck and neck. Right, we're on to the fourth question now. Fourth question. How many Champions League finals have Chelsea lost as a team?
One.
Can only be one. There we go. You've got a chance here going into the final question. Whatever happens, you've got a chance here. You've gone top.
There we go.
You've gone top. You've got to get this right. Here we go.
Just need to get
in
this
what
right.
year did Tottenham last win the League Cup?
Okay. You
were quick. You look like you were the first person. You should win this now. You should win this now.
I swear to God, if the speeders beat me this time, I'm going to be so pissed.
Oh, right. Here we go. Have you won the quiz? Have you won the quiz?
Come on. I swear, if I get jumped. Yes.
Oh, you done it. 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 You done it.
Okay.
You done it. 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 You done it.
I'm satisfied now.
You can. There we go. There's. And we're gonna do. Do you know what? We're gonna do another one, right? Colleen, you're up again. I'm putting Colleen back on the seat. You're up against Tom, who's won it twice now.
And Fats as well.
Up
Fats
against
is rapid with this.
Fats is great at this game. Fats is great at this game. Here we go. Olu's in. We're strapped in. You've got to be playing quiz, people. This game is amazing. It really is. Here we go. Which country does Kevin De Bruyne
Belgium.
Before? Belgium.
Belgium.
Yeah. Belgium.
Oh, you were third that time. No. Just saying what the scoreboard's saying.
What was Tottenham's biggest win in the Premier League?
Not a Scooby. 6-1. 6-1. I think. I have no clue. No clue.
Yeah, 9-1 against Wigan.
9-1 against Wigan.
I selected it for you, Cole. I was at the game. I was at the game. I had to select it for you. Sorry, I was there.
I don't think those points should count. I don't think those points should count. But that's
right.
Just me.
Here we go. Which Tottenham player was man of the match in the '99 League Cup final?
Alan Nielsen.
Go for it. I have not a Scooby.
Darren Anderton. Hey,
look at
you've got top, Cole. You must have gone top after being the only one. Look at that. Here we go.
Little's in the mud.
Thank you, Kate.
Who scored the winning goal for Arsenal in the '71 FA Cup final?
Come on, you were in secondary school when this happened.
George.
That's what I'd have said. Charlie George, but I don't know.
Yeah, George. I think Charlie George.
Oh, wait, George Graham. Sorry, I made a mistake.
Oh, you might have just cost it.
Terry.
I'm gonna lose my job.
That's a howler.
Which team did Liverpool achieve a 7-0 victory over in 2021?
Man United.
Now,
I'm glad you knew that one, Tel.
Is that how long ago that was? Already? It's nearly 3 years ago.
Maybe Palace 7-0 at Selhurst Park.
I let you get that wrong on purpose. I knew it weren't there, but you come second, Cole. You were going to win until we messed it up for you, to be honest. We messed it up. Henry, you're going again, mate. Henry's going again now. Come on, people. Get yourselves in. Win a bit of money.
Never in doubt, is it? Watch become bottom now. You watch.
Nothing wrong with coming last, Henry.
We're still in the top 4. Here we go, Henry. Here we go. Who is Man United's all-time top goal scorer?
Wayne Rooney, bang.
Wazza.
Someone said Charlton. That's wrong.
I reckon we're second after that. God, look at it.
Top.
Ooh, exactly the same.
Here we go.
Oh,
which Liverpool player has won the Golden Boot in 2000?
No. It was Salah.
Bollocks. Oh no, I thought he tied it up with Aubameyang and Kane.
Nah, that was not
you've gone from... Here we go, right, guys. Let's go. So, who was Liverpool's top goal scorer in 1984? Easy.
John Barnes. No?
I would have gone Dalglish.
Ian Rush. Of course it's Ian Rush. You've gone back to top.
Oh, there we go.
It's a great game, this one. What jersey number did Ledley King wear for Tottenham?
26.
Just like
you might be the only one who... two people got that right. I don't know if we were first, though. Fats is normally good at this stuff. He's got great ball knowledge. Your top final question to win it.
It's close.
In what year did Arsenal trade Alexis Sanchez to Man United?
2017.
Oh,
I think Fats might have been.
2018.
It better not be facts.
Did Fats get it right? He did.
Oh,
Who is this guy? Who is
He's
this
done
Fats guy?
ya.
He did. Oh, Fats is a
Big
quality guy.
Chelsea fan, man like Fats, you know, man like Fats, smashing it. Look, go and get this downloaded, people. Go and get this game downloaded. It's not just, by the way, I will show you all. It isn't just football quizzes. You go to the lobby. There's all sorts in here that you can play. You've got the football terrace ones that are out. You've got English League. You've got away. Oh, look at this one here though. Look, English League to win 36.
Wait, is that
pounds.
what? Is that all? Is that down to League Two?
I don't know. We're gonna play. We're gonna give it a go. I'm gonna try and win some decent money here.
Oh, I'm not
$36
claiming
prize
to be an
pot.
expert.
We'll all play this together against everyone else, right? We'll all jump in if we know the answers. We need 3 people to get involved in this one. Get yourselves involved. We're going to play this bad boy before the end of the show. Get yourselves in. Big prize money to be won right here on Quiz. 3 people are in. Oh, Fats is in there. Fats is going to clean up in this one. He's so fast. Right, here we go. Let's see if we can do it. I'm buzzing now. Right, here we go. So, which colour of the Arsenal away jerseys? I have no idea.
Gold.
Gold.
I think.
I don't remember it being gold.
Hey!
Yeah!
Yes! Come on!
Oh, that's class.
Let's go! Right. That's when Kate supported him.
Shut
Right,
up,
next
you.
question.
Don't insult me.
What jersey number did Peter Shilton wear most of his career? I was going to go with 1. It's got to go with 1.
Sure.
Yes. Come on.
Yay!
Go on, Shilts. Go on, Shilts. Got to be top still. Got to be top still. Fats is having a mare.
Oh, yeah, he's had a
What is the most number of goals Tottenham have ever scored?
86.
86.
Oh yeah, we had this one.
No,
I thought it was going to be going down to League Two. I was so worried for a minute about this.
Right. There we go. Oh, just hanging on the top. Who was Chelsea's manager during their first ever Champions League win? Neto.
We might have dropped down there.
Oh, we might have dropped down. We were quite slow. We're hanging on. We're hanging on. As long as we get this right. Which English player famously broke his metatarsal? Beckham. Beckham. It's Beckham. I know it is. We've got to have won. We've got to have won, Paul Gascoigne. We've got to have won.
Come on.
Yes.
That is close.
We've done them. We've done them. We've done
very
them.
Close.
And there you see the $36 cash prize. Look at that. We've made a little profit while we've been live as well, people.
Not too bad.
Look, I want to go to these super chats here. First one says, Terry, can you please explain why Copa America quarterfinals just go straight to penalties? I don't know. I don't know the reason why they've decided to do that. Not enough teams.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. Just tuned in and realized this was TFT Royal Rumble where beautiful Colleen and Shark and the Shark from Finding Nemo are back. We also have 2 fans backing the toilet bowl. Big up, Zane. Hope you're well. Will they add Henry's win to Spurs' website? They might do, you know. They might add it. They really could.
Well, to be fair, they've got the Costa del Sol back-to-back on there, so why not?
That's true. But as I was saying earlier, guys, you can go to the lobby in here. There's loads of other quizzes you can play as well. You've got general knowledge, Vampire Diaries. There's a normal football one. You've got a Breaking Bad quizzes on there. You've got TV shows and new ones are added every single day. And you can play it online. They've got the app that's launched now as well. It's a great bit of fun. It really is a great bit of fun. And it's knowledge based as well. So it isn't, it's based on your knowledge. It isn't pot luck. If you're clever, you're smart. If you know about a subject, you can win a few quid as well. You can't cheat. You can't cheat. So yeah, it's really good. Listen, I want to say a big thank you to each and every single one of you that has tuned in. Please hit the like button. Please make sure you are subscribing to the Football Terrace as well. If you do want to download the game, as we mentioned, the QR code is there on the screen, as you can see. Get that scan now if you're watching on TV. Panel, you've been amazing. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll see you all.